gentlemen, welcome to Work It Like a Job. My name is Michael Dean. You listen to Podcast Juice. And joining me today, Mr. I haven't heard him in a minute, Big Sexy and Sax. Sir, how are you?
Excuse me, I am doing better on the path to recovery. Almost back to full-on sexy.
All right. Well, we love to hear that. Pause. But we're glad you're recovering. We'll leave it at that. Ladies and gentlemen, also in the building, Mr. Amp Who. Sir, how are you?
I'm doing good. My daughter is testing me day after day after day. Mike, I'm just letting you know it's on site whenever I see you next, because you're supposed to be my mentor. You should have told me how bad these little girls gonna get, and the fact that you just be like, because you know you want to, but you're like, nah, I can't do that to her. I can't. But I'm getting there.
Damn, I don't know what happened. I haven't had any issues. My girls.
So you just gonna put it on me? Wow. Okay.
You ready to fight me? Damn. All right. Well, stay at it. Keep at it. Dad's job is never done, and maybe you're just getting some of that early, and maybe I have that coming down. Hopefully,
I'm just putting extras on it, but I just be like, I'll be like, come here. No, I'm like, what? I feel like Medea. Be like, okay. So I'm just gonna let her get her nose out right now. Okay.
Oh, the talking back already?
Yeah. I'm chalking it up to she doesn't know what she's doing.
I feel you. All right. Well, with all of that said, welcome back, fellas. We're at the end of the year. We might have to do a little wrap up of the year as we get talking here. But and speaking of movies, actually, I want to jump to movies. We got to talk about Wonder Woman 84. That was the new movie that just dropped, came out on HBO Max and at the theaters for some people. I had been waiting for this one for a minute. The first Wonder Woman movie, I thought it was just okay. I was not really a super fan of that movie. I think there's parts that are cool about it, but I've only seen it a few times. I do like Gal Gadot. I think she's a great Wonder Woman. Like I have no issues with that. And for those who don't know, I am a big fan of Batman v Superman, which she's in that. And I am not a big fan of Justice League, but I do like her in the movie. I like her in that role. So I was really anticipating watching this sequel. And tell you right now, we will spoil some of it. It's been out for a while, so hopefully you've had a chance to see it. But if you haven't and you don't want to be spoiled, don't listen. Quickly, I will say, for me, I'm going to go right off the top. How many Marlins would I give this out of 5 Marlins? This movie, for me, only gets 2 Marlins.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
And I will say I was very disappointed with this movie. This movie was all over the place. I don't know what to say. I was very much anticipating liking this because I'm like, it's 2020. You shouldn't really be putting out whack superhero movies at this point. We have had big, giant movies. Endgame, Infinity War, Black Panther, even for me, Batman v Superman, Man of Steel, Guardians of the Galaxies, there have been some great superhero movies. So there's really no excuse not to know what you're doing. And then, of course, the original Wonder Woman movie I thought was decent. This is a step back, in my opinion. What did I like about the movie? Well, let me say this first. I was so hyped to watch this at home because it was going to be on HBO Max. And it was going to be the first movie on HBO Max to stream in 4K. You know, they had Dolby Vision and HDR. And I was like, oh, I can't wait. And I go to play it. And it plays back. At first, it comes on. You know, it looks great. I'm like, wow, okay. But then I noticed that it's jittery. Like it's pausing. You know, it's almost like it's losing. Its frames are lost. And I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, let me give it a second. Maybe it's just kind of buffering and getting set up. But the first 2 minutes or so, it's just, and I'm like, this is unwatchable. Like, what the fuck is going on? And I come to find out that there is some issue with the 4K stream, specifically on Roku TCL TVs. And then I see that there's some issues with other people on other devices. And I'm like, so that really pissed me off at first. I was like, I've been waiting all day to watch this, and it's Christmas. And so I had to go and watch it on the PlayStation 4, which has the HBO Max app. But PlayStation 4 HBO Max app does not support 4K streaming, so it's just going to play it in 1080p. And after you've just seen it in super crisp, 4K, and then it goes down to 1080p, it just looked blurry. I was like, this is shit. So I was already kind of like hating a little bit. But yeah, this movie, I heard somebody else say this. This was a Joel Schumacher movie in 2020.
Yes.
It was just goofy parts, which I could be okay with if the whole movie was to sort of be on that way, but only certain parts, like the shopping mall at the beginning. And then it was like this long, drawn out, trying to do character type stuff. And I was like, okay, we see Wonder Woman at the beginning. And then there seemed to be like an hour or so where there was no action. I was like, what in the hell? It's 2020. You can't do this unless you got bomb story and bomb acting and all that. And I was like, And they bring back Steve Trevor, which we see in the trailer. The explanation behind that, as we'll get into later, I wasn't buying it at all. I was like, are you serious? And then, so I was supposed to talk about what I liked. There are a few little scenes of Wonder Woman doing some action, which I thought were kind of cool. But the problem with that, the main problems I have with this is that Wonder Woman could do anything. There's times in this movie where she's Spider-Man. There's times in the movie where she's Thor. And then there's a time in the movie where she's, I guess, Doctor Strange. Like she's a sorceress and concocting spells to make things invisible. And I'm like, when did she start doing this? Now, I don't know if that's canon or not, but I just couldn't get into it. And I was watching this with my kids, and even my son was openly clowning the movie as we're watching. He just had so many one-liners he was throwing, and he called her Spider Thor. It was like, I was like, okay. So,
far from wrong.
With all of that said, yeah, there was just nothing for me to like, and it was just too long. I started falling asleep, and it was just too many. Oh, come on now! Like, I was like, really? There was stuff that would happen. He's like, really? Okay, right. And then the end, which I'll talk about in a second, but the ending of it was just like, huh? And I just wanted it to be over. And yeah, I just did not care for this. I don't think it was I'm not going to say it's a terrible movie. It just didn't work for me. I don't think that, what's the name of the director?
Patty Jenkins.
Jenkins. And this was, so this was written by Patty Jenkins and Jeff Johns.
Yeah, Jeff was slipping.
Hey, yo, Jeff, stick to the comics. Before on this podcast, I used to be like, yeah, they get Jeff Johns involved. But after his track record of movies, I'm good. Nah,
Told you
good. He's pulling 3 Jokers, if you know what that means. It ain't ain't working, man. This wasn't it. Patty Jenkins, not saying she's not talented, but Lucasfilms, you might want to pump the brakes on that Rogue Squadron, or please get Dave Filoni and what's my other guy? Who's get them brothers involved, please, because I don't. Yeah, man, I don't know. This movie wasn't popping. And lastly, I'll say I'm going to go to Ampu next. On the last podcast, we talked about reviewers, people reviewing stuff. Oh yeah. Those people who get to see the movies early and they kind of make a point to tell you that they saw it early before you did, the general public. They was dick riding on this movie before it came out to everybody else. Oh, this was hopeful and it was one of the best movies. It was like Superman and this was great and I cried. Stop it.
Cried.
This movie was shit. And I hate, and you see, it's exposing the dick riding and the people who are not really reviewers. They're clout chasers. Because come on, you see this movie, and if you look at the audience rating on a lot of different sites, there was the critic rating, and when the audience rating came out, that she was low and it was dropping, and it was like, but I thought the movie was supposed to be all that. So they be lying because they trying to stay in the good graces of, I guess, these studios, whatever. But that shit needs to stop. And if you ever think back, who was the real classic movie reviewers? Siskel and Ebert and cats like that. Did they ever? Leonard, did they ever start their reviews like, well, I just saw this 3 weeks ago before you guys did. Let me tell you about it. They didn't do that. They talked about the movie, whether it was good or bad. So be wary of the clout chasing. And let me also quickly, my brother Jody's Corner. Shout out to Jody's Corner.
Uh-oh.
I'm not gonna shout out. It's just all in fun. Because he's doing big things. So shout out to him. But Jody's Corner, I watch his stuff. I love it. But he was really like hyping up Wonder Woman. And, to be clear, he got clicked in with Patty and Gal Gadot. They actually have like intros of them on his channel before he starts. And I think he shot a scene of some kind of, was it a TV show Patty Jenkins did? Or she put him as a cameo in the background. So I'm not mad at that. Salute to that brother. But I wanted to hear his review of this movie, because a lot of times he'll call out movies if it's on some bullshit.
Yep.
But I have to salute Jody. Because he said, Bucket, I'm riding her bra strap no matter what. So he came out with his review, and in the first, I think, 5 minutes, he tells you straight out, this movie is A+. I was like, this nigga, wow. I was like, you know what? At least he's gonna cape hard, and he spends like another, I don't know how long it was, 40, 50 minutes of just niggas explaining why it's good. So salute to Jody. At least he's letting you know, he's not impartial. He's just he's bra strap riding. It is what it is. But I just thought it was funny. And Pooh, what'd you think of Wonder Woman 84? And I question why they even call it 84, but go ahead.
Well, because it was in 1984. So, of course. Yes, baby. Yes. Yes.
Hilarious.
Anyway, just like you, I found it very disappointing. Oh. Yes. Unlike you, I wasn't looking forward to this film. I saw the trailer, and there really was nothing in it that got me hyped for the film. I thought the first film was okay. This one was disappointing. I will give props where they are due. Gal Gadot, she's convinced she's absolutely Wonder Woman. She's not Justice League Unlimited Wonder Woman, but she's very close. Pedro Pascal, for the character he was told to play, he delivered. Chris Pine, props to him. Again, for the character that he was told to play and the script that he was given, he acted his butt off. and also the Kristen Wiig. That's another one. I like her early characterization as Barbara, the introverted, nerdy chick that wishes she could be the what she perceives as the cool, beautiful woman. And then when she morphed into Cheetah, I was like, okay, she's doing the damn thing, and the action was good. Although I'm kind of tired of that damn leg sweep. It's like, come on, you about what, a couple thousand years old. You can come up with some new moves. Give me a guillotine or a Superman punch, something better than that. But the action scenes, the set pieces were great. But just the story, Maxwell Lord's motivation, his goals, his plans. I was just like, what is going on here? And just like you said, we got one action scene, and then we went like almost an hour before we got into something happening. It just was long, drawn out, very slow, and dull. And my somebody brought up on a message board saying that in the first film, um, she gives up the life that she knows for some dick.
She was
And
stigmatized for many years,
yes.
apparently. That's her kryptonite, dictonite. But anyway, go ahead.
And essentially she's still, stuck on Steve. And I guess I get it. You've been, I mean, I said I guess I get it. I didn't say I get it. You ain't been around men, all nothing but women. Now some would say, well, she probably had relationships, and then you get a man, and this is the man that showed you love in that way that you haven't experienced. I somewhat can understand that, but for me, it
So
wasn't
you saying
enjoyable.
she was sprung on that? He put it on her. It's so bad. I mean, it was just like, damn, like.
Hey, in real life, let's be honest.
So I guess all them women over there, what do they call that island?
The mascara.
The mascara. Boy, you catch one of them, they gonna choose up for life. Because that was what, 30, was a 30 or 40-year difference? When the last time she had some D and she's still
No. I'm sorry. No. That was about 70.
70 years. Damn.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry.
Steve-
65.
Steve Trevor put it down. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. But apparently that's what Patty Jenkins and Jeff Johns is telling women out there that, once you get it. Actually, the LGBTQ community should be insulted by that. Because the thing is just all you need is a woman. How you think you get? All you need is a man to show you how it's done. And if you look at Wonder Woman, that's essentially what they're telling you. If you really think about it, think about it. But anyway, the action was dope. I was say with that, but I'm not gonna say it was bad. It's just underwhelming. And I didn't care about Steve Trevor enough in the first film to see him try to have a happily ever after with Diana. Why do I want Diana? It's a superhero comic book action film. Why do I care about Wonder Woman having a love life? Now, some people are going to point to Spider Man and Superman with their love lives, but I mean, I'll just go with it. That's different. But Wonder Woman, I don't care. You haven't given me enough to invest in her trying to live happily ever after. And at the same token, it was not possible in this film. So, like, why are you having us invest so much time in watching them reconnect and try to love and figure out how they can move forward when essentially you told us how he came back? It's not going to be permanent. So I don't know what Jeff Johns and Patty Jenkins thought they were doing with this. Oh, and I'm sorry. Further, Maxwell Lord. I haven't read a lot of stories in the comic book, so I'm not gauging this based on the canon. But what I did know is that he went head up with the Justice League and gave them a problem. So when I heard that he was the villain in this, I'm like, oh, this is going to be really good. But this I have no problem with you trying to change up the character, but can you make it better? This character ended up being an addict for wishes. I want you to think about that. That's exactly what he was doing. He was trying to get everybody's wishes so because he wanted to be more powerful and more respected than what he was. Now, you already have one character like that with Cheetah. Why are you giving us another one? And throughout the film, at least Cheetah, she got the physical strength to match up with Wonder Woman. She ended up trying to, spoilers, get this Cheetah form and go head up and like, I'm not giving up this power and I'm going to stop you. When she said, you come near Maxwell Lord or try to kill him, I'm going to take you out. That was growth and strength. Maxwell Lord, on the other hand, he was making his stuff up as he go along. He was a bumbling fool, addicted to trying to get wishes because he had a plan that we have no idea what it was. That's not an interesting character that I wanted to watch.
All right, all right. We'll get into some more story specific stuff, and I think Q Storm, are you there? We can't hear him yet, but he's in here, so hopefully he'll jump in. Big Sexy, what did you think of the movie? We hear you now. Okay.
You know, I got a lot on this one. I'll make it brief. The first thing I didn't like, and there was some stuff I liked, but a lot I didn't like. I didn't like the opening sequence where you have a 10-year-old beating, essentially college-level athletes in a physical contest. Fuck out of here. No, that was bullshit.
Interesting.
I didn't care for the way they did Max Lord. Max Lord, who I am very familiar with from the comics, his power set is really one of kind of like emotional manipulation. He's slick. This guy, Mandalorian cat, he did what he could with what they gave him. And when they came out with this whole wish stone, they lost me right there. I'm like, really? Fucking wish stone? You couldn't call it something better than this? And then he's going around, well, wish this. Well, if you wish for that, I'm going to take this. Oh, God. I'm like, this is garbage. This is garbage. Now, like everyone else, Gal, we're all in agreement, Gal is magnificent in the role, but give her something to do. I prefer my Wonder Woman more, again, from the books, who is a warrior. Wonder Woman in the books will whip your ass. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And then they introduced the gold outfit from Kingdom Come. It was too long. Best thing about this movie is the post-credit sequence. I will not lie. I freaked out when I saw that. That made it all worthwhile. I'm not going to give that away, but that made it all worthwhile to me. Wow. And Patty Jenkins, and let me tread real lightly here. I understand that in today's climate, people want women directors, and so do I. That's great. But I'm of the opinion if you're not getting the job done, you got to go. She didn't get it done here. Period. And Jeff Johns, dude, come on, man. You know better than this. You are slipping hard. But I will say this. I believe there was an Easter egg planted in this film because when they went over to the Middle East, I believe Max called it, I'm going to butcher it, Biala. And that is a Middle Eastern city in DC continuity, which is close somewhat to Kandak, which is where the whole Black Adam thing will probably start out. So there may be a little sequence there. We will see. But it was too long. It needs to be edited down. Gal Gadot is perfect. And let's do better next time.
All right. Q Storm. Sir, what did you think of this movie, Wonder Woman 1984?
First of all, I'm sure you can hear me.
Yes.
All right. There was I had to get used to seeing Pedro Pascal, the man who's killing it on Mandalorian, acting like a complete jackass in this movie. It showed me that he has range, that he can play different characters, different types. Gal Gadot, like I say, I will always wear the L on this. I was one of her biggest detractors, but she did impress me in the role when she was in BVS. She impressed me in the first Wonder Woman film. I wasn't a huge fan of that film, but she was impressive. She's impressive to me in this film. But the film was just an overwrought mess of what seemed to be a lot of ideas that people threw up against the wall and said, okay, we got a film, now let's put it together. Max Lord that villain, there was a glimmer of a good idea in that character. Imagine a Lex Luthor character if he'd been played like Lex Luthor, like John Burns Lex Luthor, who had those abilities that Max Lord had. Are we spoiling on this?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Imagine that if they had done something like that. But imagine if they'd actually given him a goal or a purpose. I'm still not clear what he wanted. Beginning of the film, I thought he was trying to save his company. He needed some oil, an oil lease or something like that. And so he gets his power, and rather than saying, I wish for all the oil in the world or whatever, he says, I wish I could become the idol. And my 14-year-old son, like, why is he doing that? Isn't that the hard way? Just wish for the oil. And I'm thinking, you got a damn good point. I didn't understand his purpose seemed to fluctuate throughout the movie. Cheetah, Kristen Wiig looked hot. She looked fine in this movie. And she proved to me that she could play badass, right? But I didn't see the point in that character. You could have gotten her out of the movie, wouldn't have mattered. That fight scene just seemed gratuitous to me, gratuitous CGI. We got to get an action scene. We only had like 3 action scenes in the whole 2.5 hours. So we got to do something in the end. We got to show the cheetah, which she looked terrible. That CGI looked terrible. Steve Trevor, what was his purpose in the film? Other than they gave Chris Pine a guaranteed contract to appear in 2 films. So she gives up her wish, and he just hides behind a building, and then we write him off. He's done. That's his character arc. Cheetah, she turns back into, what was the name? Barbara Minerva. No consequences. Does she go to jail? What happens with it? We don't know. Doesn't matter, does it? Of course not. So there was the whole thing with Max Lord giving wishes to people and showing how that could be destructive. That was the glimmer of a good idea. It was almost like, I felt like I was watching a second version of Kilgore from what's the show on Netflix show?
Oh, that's that Marvel show.
Jenny Jones.
Nobody ever talks about that show.
What was the name? Jeanette Jones, or I can't remember.
Yeah, something like that.
Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones. Yeah, where's all the hype about that? Anyway, let me stop. Go ahead.
But his power set was very compelling, like a Kilgore. So I was bought into that, but they just didn't put a good story around it. And a lot of implausibility. Everybody in the world can hear Diana Prince saying, "Oh, be a better you." Fuck out of here with that. And I'm sorry, Big Sexy, that end credit scene, while it was great to see it, I'll just say it.
Man, we spoiling shit.
Oh, we are spoiling?
The original Wonder Woman lady.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Yeah, it was great.
Linda Carter?
Yeah, Linda Carter. But what they gave her to do, I know we're never going to see that again. She didn't speak with any accent. And why is she there other than an Easter egg? I mean, if you're going to put Linda Carter in this movie, make her a character. Give her something to do.
Again, I definitely see your point. But again, based on what they gave us, I will take that. Because anything to get that taste out of your mouth, I'm good with. And seeing her at the end, like, all right, cool.
I didn't care for it. I thought there was going to be something else. Like, I was like, okay, they got that out of the way. Now, what's the real
Black Adam
or something? I was like, what's the real end credit scene? Because I know for many younger people, they don't have know what the hell. They're like, huh? Who's that?
You know what they should have done with Linda Carter? They should have given Robin Wright, lovely actress, great actress. Give that role to Linda Carter, the Queen of Themyscira. That's the mother of Diana.
I could see that.
That's the role she should have had in the first Wonder Woman film.
Yeah. Well, let's
the only thing I can think of is that she's playing with the character that they based the games on. So they better have that payoff in the next film.
Something tells me they're not going to bank that movie on her, but we'll see. I mean, that'd be like if they had, again, I could see if this was a Marvel movie, if it was the new Blade, and they had some little scene with Wesley at the end. Okay. Possibly, you know what I mean? But I still would expect it to mean something. To me, her cameo is best served to be in the movie then, as opposed to having it be the end credit. Like, I thought the end credit was supposed to be like a nice stinger or something, but I don't see them coming back and addressing her character ever again in the next movies.
Well, I mean, some of the Marvel ones haven't actually been set up for other films. I mean, you look at the what was it, Dr. Banner and Tony Stark therapy session. So,
Honestly, I don't even remember it, but I take your word for it.
or the shawarma at the end of the shawarma
the
scene
burger
at the end
joint,
of the
yeah.
Avengers.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. I guess I would push back and say, yeah, but those were bomb ass movies. Like, you can kind of you can excuse that. DC they need help is on the way, as Country Wayne would say. They need help. Like, they ain't got time to be throwing out no like they hitting it out of the ballpark. It's like, stop it. You better show us some shit. Shit. But anyway, let's just jump into some spoiler stuff. Here's some questions I wanted to ask. So one thing I noticed in this movie that they were doing, and maybe it was just me, so I want to get you guys' opinion. Did it make it seem like all men were on some quote unquote street harassment in this movie? It seemed like every scene there was some guy trying to holler, "Hey, how you doing?" Or they were looking all extra hard. I mean, even to the point where they had guys trying to rape women in it. But even they had Steve Trevor. I thought they had a scene where he looked at Cheetah kind of like, "Oh, hey, shit, okay, I see you." I'm like, damn, he's supposed to be the good guys. All men are on some.
I didn't get that.
Okay, I was saying maybe it was me.
If anything, the women look bad in this movie because there's a lot of stuff being said about how Wonder Woman rapes a stranger.
Well, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that too. We'll get into that too. But did anybody else pick up on the man thing?
I didn't.
Not really.
Okay.
No,
Take a look back
granted,
and you'll
the guy-
notice most of the men when the women, like when that woman walked in the room. What's her name, Cheetah? When she walked in the room, everybody was like, "Oh shit!"
Well, because she was bomb. That's why.
Well, right, but does that mean so all bomb women, just every man is going to like, "Oh shit"?
Well,
That's what I'm just saying. So it made men look like they was all like they can control themselves. Like,
Well, granted, it was 84, which was a long time ago, but Home Skillet outside of the place, the drunk dude, really, that was a bit much.
that was
a
stupid.
bit much.
yeah,
You know what that was, Big Sexy? That was Clark Kent going back into the diner at the end of Superman 2.
Yep.
There was. I'm glad you brought it up. I felt like in the beginning they feel like he was trying to be on some Donner, Superman. The kind of little goofy little. Hey, all right, Superman up in the look. Oh, hey, brother. And I was like, and I was thinking. I said, wow, is the whole movie gonna be like this? I could kind of ride with that. It's because we don't normally see that type of thing. But as it started to play out in the way they were playing it, I started thinking, I say, you know what? I'm glad they don't do a Superman movie like that because I couldn't watch a whole movie with that type of atmosphere. I just thought it was too goofy. And it was like it was just a comedy or something. I was like, And everybody, man, I want to see Superman when he's like, no, you don't. Just go watch the old movie from the 80s. But trust me, you don't want to see a 2000-something movie in today's world and everybody's, hey, bumbling around. You'd be afraid, oh, this is terrible. They need to follow Marvel. You don't want to see that. You definitely don't want to see that. And what was Wonder Woman doing at the shopping mall in 1984? Because I thought the whole point of her character that we've seen so far in these movies that she had been hiding from the world and didn't want to be seen. So when she comes out at Batman v Superman, she was like, okay, this is enough. He's got, tearing shit up. Let me go jump in. I'm going to reveal myself now. And even to the point where they discussed this in Justice League, if I'm not mistaken, her and Batman. But does she just not give a damn? Like, why was she at a shopping mall saving people doing dumb shit?
Yeah, that is a good point.
It doesn't make any sense.
Even further, it's like, why was she all pressed about getting that picture back from Lex that's supposed to be exposing her when we see that she was, well, I'm sorry, let me take that back, because I thought that she was on television at the end. No, she used the lasso and got Maxwell Lord to change things.
Can I ask another question around that point? Fuse, in this world, does everyone know that Diana Prince is Wonder Woman? Does she's I want to say Greek. It's an Israeli accent. We know that, but she speaks with a Mediterranean accent. She's tall, long hair. How does someone not put two and two together?
I guess the same way they didn't put two and two together with Superman and Clark Kent.
I guess so.
Max Lord was calling her Diana, wasn't he?
I remember.
I've seen her was calling her Diana. So do people know who she is in this world?
I would say they don't, but it's a good question.
She was at the mall stopping a robbery. Wasn't there robberies? They were goofy guys, but they had guns, didn't they?
Yeah, but why is that enough for her to break her cover and to come out? And if that's the case, then you mean to tell me when Metropolis is getting decimated?
See, here you go.
She didn't think that was worth it. He got that. I don't know who that man is, but he got that. Like,
but they were holding a little girl over the edge of the balcony.
Right. Versus millions of people being slaughtered. But I guess.
We can always ask that question. How come we seem like if they do an Ant-Man movie, seems like the Avengers should be like, all right, let's go help a boy out. You could say that about every one of these books.
No, you can't. Not that level. I mean, we haven't seen these characters in that. Again, I'm just going by the story they said. So it just seems weird that, and even if you just go back to the end of the movie, like, okay, the whole world just saw it was nuclear bombs. It was about to blow up everybody. It was about to be World War III. Everyone was doing wishes, and nobody, like, later on, you remember back in 1984 when the world was about to be blown up and there was this woman?
Yes. That's what I've been saying. Big Sexy appreciate that. That's why I hate watching Star Trek prequels like Discovery, where they do all this bullshit and Kirk never mentions it in his timeline. You're right. I hate that shit.
Well, because I was thinking the same thing, but I remembered she wasn't on camera. She had the lasso on Max Lord and spoke through him to change that. He was the only one on camera.
Yeah, but everyone knew that there was a moment in time when the world was about to be bombed by Russia and we were going to bomb them back, and everyone was doing wishes, and there was this mysterious wall that surrounded this country all of a sudden.
Well, no, I was just saying, because you mentioned Wonder Woman. I'm like, well, they didn't actually see Wonder Woman.
Well, people at the shopping mall did.
Yeah, so I don't know. They're making it up as it going on. That's all I got.
and I'm not even nitpicking. I think these are legitimate things. The whole part about that fighter jet that Trevor was flying. How did when I was watching with my kids and Wonder Woman, she seemed to have a key card or something where she walked into that place, right? Because and then she walked in. I was like, okay, I don't know what they're doing. Then when you see the plane and he gets in and fired up, I'm like, so they just gonna have the jets just fueled up, ready to go, and then I come to find out that was the Smithsonian. So even more boggle my mind. So the Smithsonian, they got fighter jets. Off those planes that you see there are fueled and ready to pop off. And the dudes at the say it again.
That wasn't the Smithsonian, was it?
I heard it was, but if you know something different, I'll take that too.
I could be wrong. I'm just saying that would be really stupid if it was. I'm hoping it wasn't.
That's kind of why I'm saying, like, they would have jets, even if it was like some sort of museum. But you mean to tell me they have them jets ready to get it popping? Like you just hit the switch. And the fact that this dude was from 70 years ago, he know how to turn that. And when they fire it off, and he's up there dipping through fireworks and flying in the sun, I was like, huh? How is he flying this shit?
I'm usually the Grinch. I could let that go.
Like I couldn't let it. It didn't make no sense.
If I got a point, Mike.
Like,
Do you
how's
think if you went back to 1920s, you don't think you could drive a car back then?
Okay, that's
You
going
know,
in reverse. We're talking about someone in
well,
1920
actually,
who
I
has
don't
none
think
of
you
that
could.
technology.
If somebody who came from the times of 70 years ago and then they jumped in a new car today, I don't know if
I mean,
they.
it's the same thing, same principles, right? You put the
well,
key
you know,
in.
go,
Have you
but
seen a
using your car
1920s
example,
No,
car?
I don't think so. First of all, they
See,
wouldn't.
using
There's
your
no
car
key to put in
example.
the ignition, so they'd be sitting there looking like, "What the fuck? How do you start this thing?" Oh,
you know, the guys on Top Gear were driving around some like Model Ts and couldn't get them fucking things started.
And listen,
And
I'm
then
not
once
going
they got
those-
them started, they couldn't get
I'm
them
not going
rolling.
down this hill. I'm not going down this hill. Okay, I'll surrender.
and we talking about jet planes
I'm listening. Okay,
that are going hella fast compared to the little prop planes the nigga was flying.
Yeah, that's true.
He on some Blue Angels and shit with G forces, and he just gonna flip a few switches. They gonna let that bitch fly off.
You know,
And I
let's
was
go
like,
Goose. Let's go Maverick.
I was like,
kill it.
stop it! You ain't gonna be flying over no populated area, no fighter jet, and they ain't scrambled
Get to
them
the real
motherfuckers
stupid
up.
part.
And then he flying through fireworks.
No, but you
Where they do that at?
The real dumb part is now this film sets up that Wonder Woman is on her Sue Storm. She can make shit invisible.
That's what I'm saying. She was Doctor Strange.
That was such bullshit.
She's a sorceress.
What was the
There's-
game?
There's some things you can leave in the past. I get that they wanted to acknowledge nostalgia with the invisible jet, but that's not how you need to do that. Come
That
on.
was bullshit. Yeah.
Now, I mean, at this, the best they got is she's a demigod and magic. So it's like you could go with it.
Is the character magic in the books though?
Yes.
She does spells and shit.
No,
Not spells,
magic in
but
the
she's
sense like Doctor
magical.
Strange. No.
The only magic I knew that Wonder Woman capable of was that last bit.
No, the lasso was magic. I mean, she's like Thor in that sense. You know, kind of based in magic, but not a magician like
Like,
Strange.
oh, let me conduct it. I can make things invisible.
How did she do it? What was the reasoning? She touches it and it goes invisible? But she did it on a couple of
She's doing a spell, man. And then
But,
if that's the case, then why didn't she do this shit again in Justice League? Well, they certainly could have used that ability when they fly that plane to that part of Russia. Why didn't you just make the Fox or whatever that aircraft was invisible so that Batman and them all could fly in there without getting destroyed?
Well, you see, Mike, that was 30 plus years ago. She forgot. Come on, man.
Right.
And
Can I real quick, the whole flying sequence. Now, she may fly, and I don't know if she flies in the comics or not, but I thought that was some bullshit, just the way they did that. I was like, what can she not do? She was literally flying like super, and then she put her hands out. I was like, come on, Patty, what are y'all?
Yeah.
She's invincible.
Again, yeah, it became canon that she can fly. They've shown her flying in Justice League. But my thing is that, okay, either she can or she can't fly. Make up your mind. You don't have her flying in the first Wonder Woman. You don't have her flying in Justice League or Batman v Superman. Now you establish it. So it's like, okay, which one is it? Because even as I was watching that scene, I'm thinking to myself, okay, is she flying or is she gliding? Because they're not making this very clear. And to me, it's like, if you're not going to make it clear that she can now fly, then why do you have this scene in there?
They were doing the
I'll go
most.
further.
Go ahead.
I don't beginning. I know you told me you liked it. I thought it was a waste of time. I don't 13 years old. I'm past that. That was like 20 minutes.
Which part are you talking about?
The beginning of the movie.
See, I liked it. I liked
Yeah,
that
I
part.
thought that was dope.
Yeah, I thought it was. It didn't make any sense, but I was
Made
like,
no
like,
sense.
this is a comic book movie. It doesn't have to necessarily, but I thought it was cool. I thought it was actually filmed by somebody else because I was like, it's like these wide, shots and look all beautiful and action and stuff. I'm like, okay, I thought the whole movie was going to be like this, and then it goes straight to slapstick comedy. I was like, what?
Okay, Mark, were you the one saying that there was no way this team can take out these other Amazonian women?
First of all, she wasn't a teen. She was 10 years old.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I gotta call you out on that. I'm like, she's a demigod. I'm like,
They
come
all
on.
are on Themyscira.
I know. I thought
Yeah.
they established Diana was the one with the power that was made by Zeus or something like that in the first
She
film.
was made by Zeus and all that, but they're all like that. She's the baddest of the bunch, but they're all like that. And so
Okay,
for some 10-year-old to just come up and then just dominate like that, fuck out of here, man.
Well,
No.
she had
I
she had
get
a
that
high
a pass.
metachlorian count. I think that's what she was on her Anakin.
Now the problem is they ruined the continuity from film to film because in the first film she was older and the Queen Themyscira, I can't think of her name, was telling was stopping her from being trained. So now she's younger here and she's letting her in this games thing. So it's like, okay, where's the continuity?
All right, let me go ahead and put on my haterade hat right now. Strictly from an athletic standpoint, and Q, you better back me on this. Strictly from an athletic standpoint, when you're standing there, you're all ready to go and, get your competition on, and you look to your left and see a 5th grader, it's like, why are you here? You ain't winning shit. Get out of my way. When I played high school football, I'm going to go ahead and say it. There was a rumor that the suburban school is going to put out a girl kicker. I'm like, I tell you what, you put her on the field, I'm going to see her.
Wow.
Hey, whoa.
Big sexy.
Who says you can't hit a kicker? I'm sorry, is that in the rule book?
But you're picking her specifically because she's a female.
I'm going to see her because she's on the field.
What he's saying is that she's not going to get any.
None.
Should have led with that, but I hear what you're saying.
No rhythm for me.
Are you allowed to rough the kicker?
See, let's define football talk here. When a kicker does the kickoff, free territory. Go and get him. Now, on an extra point, yeah, you roughing the kicker, yeah, fuck all that. But when they're doing a kickoff, they're like anybody else. Now, if she kicked off and immediately just ran off the field, so be it. But if she's after trying to block, I'm coming to see you.
Damn.
Now, going back to the little 10-year-old, same thing applies. Why are you here? Hell no.
Ain't no pity in the city, bro.
You ain't giving her a head start, huh?
Wow.
Hell no. You're the shit. No.
Well,
earn your fucking place, man.
The other thing I wanted to bring up too is the cheetah character. I don't remember the lady's name in the movie, but
Barbara
Minerva. So I get her first part of, I guess she wished that she was like Diana and sexy, and she got that, and it appears that she also got her powers, right? Because she was like super strong and stuff. Now, I may have fallen asleep on some of this, but why did she choose to be a cat?
Well, I'm going to tell you what they presented as that. I remember, y'all can jump in. They were jet or something. She gets onto the jet.
Q, your internet is really pushing it right now.
Can you hear me?
We hear you, but you kind of keep cutting out. So I don't know if you're
paid money to have. Can you hear me now?
We hear you. We always hear you.
All right. Well, I'll say what I'll just say what I was going to say. She says on that she wants to be Apex
Predator.
The leader. So I mean, she's a cheetah. Is that? Oh, I don't know. I don't know if it works for me, and that didn't make sense.
Yeah, because even earlier in the film, they didn't show her having an affinity or studying wildlife or anything. So that was kind of like
the only thing the only thing they showed was when she made a comment about Diana's cheetah print high heels.
What?
Yeah, I don't know if you caught that. And I was like, okay, is she gonna
Yeah, I
wish for
remember
the
that.
shoes? But she did say that. But other than that, I didn't. And then explain to me this. I may have missed this. Why was she? Was she upset with Wonder Woman or something? Like, why was she fighting her?
Because Wonder Woman would stop Max. We
Oh,
would have to give up her powers.
okay. So then that she's not the cheater no more. But I guess that was just the only wish that was rescinded. She's still just as powerful as Wonder Woman. She just doesn't look like a cat.
I have no idea.
Well, I remember on the plane, I seem to remember Max said he would give her another for her help. I seem like I remember that.
I think you said another wish for her.
Her second wish was she wanted Predator. So now she's got Wonder Woman's powers, can become a cheetah. Don't shoot the messenger.
So yeah, I'm saying, I think you said that. So she's still just as strong as Wonder Woman.
I believe she. Well, Cheetah isn't Cheetah in the books as strong as Wonder Woman.
No. I'm saying she was strong as Wonder Woman before she became Cheetah. So if I'm just saying she doesn't look like a cat anymore, but she's still just as strong and badass as she wants to be. Apparently.
Well, no. Once Max gave up all his stuff, all the wishes everything returned to normal. So she lost everything.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Wait. I thought that after Max gave up, I saw other people renouncing their wishes.
Yeah, but not her.
She didn't renounce hers, did she?
She wasn't renouncing shit.
But no, I'm just saying. He was saying that Max gave up his wish, so everything went back the same. And I'm saying I could have sworn after he renounced his, I saw other people starting to renounce their wishes.
Right, which goes to what I'm saying is that she's still a badass. She's super strong. She still has Diana's powers.
Well, I remember there was a line in the film, maybe if Steve Trevor said it. I'm paraphrasing. If they stop Max, everything goes back to normal. I remember that line because I was like, that's the way it always works. Where you got a whole army of droids, you get rid of one droid, they all fall down or something like it. Make it easy like that. So I know that line was said in the film, but you all right. You are correct. Everyone was renouncing their wishes. So I don't know.
Which is why it was confusing. Like, and let's Steve Trevor for a second. That poor man who was abducted and kidnapped and forced to have sex with a woman. I don't know if he was gay or bi. I don't know if he was married and had a family or a job, but essentially Wonder Woman gave no F's for any of that. She wanted some D. She was stigmatized. She saw who she wanted to see in that man and tore it down, and then had the unmerited gall to see him after the fact and low key kind of trying to holler at him like, and she didn't know what he smashed.
Wait a minute,
he had no idea. Say it again.
No.
Yeah, that's what was so cold about it. I was like, damn.
I didn't pick up on that at all.
Yeah, he had on a little scarf and all that. And he was just like, hey, how you doing? It was a nice day out here. And she looking like, ha, ha. Yeah, I know the stroke. She knew the stroke. Did he go raw?
Did he have a gut or something?
Did he catch something? Or she pregnant? You know what I mean? Like,
he had a fanny pack. That's what he had.
What's up with that? Where's the outrage? Now, if that had been Clark.
Here we go.
And Lana Lang was in some other random chick who lived down a couple doors from him, and he just started smashing and interrupted her life and all. They boycott this movie. Holy hell. Like, this is
okay. I'm sorry. That scene at the end now is hella creepy. Because I just thought that she was finally just looking at guys and willing to open herself up to dating.
Now, see, but she's on her Cardi B.
Oh,
wow.
She's on her Cardi, drugging dudes, taking them against their will, used for her own pleasure. So I guess we got to let it go.
Whoever thought that was a good idea to semi-end the film on, oh man, stop it. That was terrible.
Hey, man.
Here's a question. Not as serious as male rape, But why was it all of us? I was like, did I fall asleep? Because after Max Lord, all that sappy, you're my son. I'm a loser. No, you're my dad. Okay, Loki, I kind of had a little tear, but I didn't.
Wow.
I'm not mad at you, but go ahead.
Boo.
But then the next scene is snowing and it's Christmas time. I'm like, huh? Did I fall asleep? What happened? And the last scene, it was Christmas when she meets the creepy scene. It's snowing and they're in some kind of amusement park and there's a Christmas tree and snow's coming down. I'm like, wait a minute, what happened? Am I missing a scene or something?
Yeah, I was already so tuned out by that point. I just wanted it to be over. So long.
It was long and boring too.
Yeah. And I wanted to like this. I was really looking forward to this movie. I don't know what happened, man.
So here's another question. That golden costume, I think I heard Big Sexy say something about it. Was that in some sort of limited series arc or something where Wonder Woman wore that outfit?
You know, debuted in Kingdom Come by Alex Ross and Kurt Busiek back in, I think, 96.
I read that. I don't remember that. But okay. So why does a person who flies need a costume that has wings on it?
I didn't think about that.
And were they meant to be used as shields? Because Sheeta was kicking her ass. That's nothing. Wonder Woman got her ass kicked a lot in this movie.
Yeah, but going back to your question, what was the point of wearing that? Was it supposed to help her? Because she just took it off anyway, right?
The same reason we saw Linda Carter, just something to say, oh, look, she's wearing that from Kingdom Come.
Interesting.
But to be fair, I think there was something they said where she was losing her powers.
Right. I guess because she got her wish. She got her wish with Steve, so somehow that was stripping her powers away. But I don't.
Yeah, because whenever someone wished on Max Lord or wished on the stone, he was able to take something from them. But I don't remember I don't remember the stone taking her powers. Or I don't remember how that worked out. But.
Yeah, I don't. The more I think about the movie and the characterization of Wonder Woman, I don't like it because and I guess they can explain that somehow she gets more hardcore years later. But in Batman v Superman, when we first see her, she jumps right in. You know, it was dope, but you could see that she was having fun fighting. Like, you know, there's the part where she gets knocked back and she kind of smirks and like, yeah, and she jumps back in the battle. And then even in Justice League, she's like hardcore. Like she's, you know, I'm going to stand in front and take this dude on and battling and stuff. And here's, I don't know, it just seemed like it's a different person or something. Like, I don't know if it's like they make her sympathetic at times and then she's just not, I don't know. This doesn't seem like it's the same character. They just present her how whatever fits the need at this particular moment. But I think that's a problem if you're trying to tie some of this stuff together. Oh, the one thing I wanted to point out in this movie, and I said this to Q offline, the one thing that got my attention in this movie, and I really started paying attention, was the scene toward the end where Diana's doing her little monologue speech to the world. They start to play the music from Batman v Superman during that part. And because I love that movie and I had the soundtrack on listen, I was like, whoa, what's going on here? And they didn't play just a sample of it. They played the whole thing. And what she is talking about, I thought they was about to show like a young Bruce Wayne, like rescinding his wish to bring his parents back or something. And just like deciding that, nah, fuck, I'm gonna be a bat or something. Because I was like, what is the point of like they're literally pulling this music from the other movie? And the way she was talking about, I was like, is this how they're going to tie? Which I thought would be kind of interesting if they did that, but they didn't do that. But that would threw me for a loop when I was watching it because I was like, oh, what is this? I'm like, oh, shit. But that was the one thing that, for me personally, was interesting. But even that, they fumbled it. So.
There was one scene, I think it was when they were in the desert. And I just remember they started playing the Wonder Woman theme, that you heard in BVS. And she's running towards the camera. And I swear it was so bad. It was like Flash level bad from Justice League. You remember that?
Oh, her actual running?
Yeah, towards the
camera. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with that.
That looked ridiculous. I'm like, what?
That was funny to me. Yeah, I don't know.
And her power levels seem to fluctuate. Like when she's stuck between the two trucks and she's trying to kick that truck off of her, they're trying to squeeze her. She's struggling. Were her powers being taken away then?
I guess so. Yeah. But didn't she take a bullet? She got hit by a bullet or something.
She was bleeding too. Yeah. Well, that's true. Okay. Yeah.
Well, you have 31 days to watch it on HBO Max. I have no desire to even watch it again, and it's free. I don't even want to watch it.
Damn.
No desire.
So it's only up for a month. Then what happens?
Or it probably goes to normal, video on demand services and stuff of that nature.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if they knew the movie was going to be decisive like this, or it wasn't going to be that good, and would that help them push it toward the online thing, or no? I'm very curious. Did they test this movie? It's just so long. I don't understand. Like this, they could have edited it down. And I was like watching. I was like, "You're not Snyder. Stop." Like, nobody. Yeah, all movies don't need to be, uncut. Nah, tighten this motherfucker up. But
in the books, I guess I get the feeling Big Sexy reads the books or knows a lot about Wonder. My knowledge of Wonder Woman was from the TV show, but doesn't she work for the government? Diana Prince.
Guess you don't have an answer.
At one point, she was actually in the service.
Interesting.
Well, that was golden age of comics.
But most recently, she's been working at the embassy for Themyscira, and
Themyscira has an embassy in the United States.
Yeah.
Now, see, that's interesting. That means you got Amazons working at the embassy. More Wonder Woman.
You have one.
Okay, that makes no sense.
Which would make sense to explain why her costume looks like that. But I don't know. In the movies, have they explained why she has like an American type of flag costume, or does it? Well, is it not necessarily American in the movies?
Keep in mind, she came on World War II, so that makes sense.
It does. I'm talking about in the movies, but then again, I don't know. I look at the movie. Does the movie one sort of look like it would be American, or those just the colors?
No, not really.
Okay. Yeah, this was on the level for me. I would put it in that Ant-Man, Thor the Dark World. Those Marvel movies that I don't fuck
lower
with.
Tier, definitely.
Yeah, this is like.
I take offense to you saying it was like Ant-Man. I like that movie.
Oh well, I mean, I'm just saying for me, but I'm cool. Those are they're not the comic movies that I will rewatch. I have no desire to see this again.
It wasn't as bad as Thor: The Dark World, though. I will give it that.
And I hated Ant-Man anyway. And the only reason I hated Ant-Man is they gave us Scott Lang. That was bullshit.
Yeah, this what was the last DC? Was it Birds of Prey?
Oh, that was garbage. Oh
man, they want Birds of Prey, then they went here. Woo, better kick ass. Yeah.
And Marvel's still standing over here laughing. We went with Endgame. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah,
I thought Aquaman had turned it around I didn't like that movie, but I thought it turned it around for DC.
Aquaman was garbage too, in my opinion.
It was entertaining.
It had a lot of money.
Yeah, it was entertaining. So it was all right. It was better than this. I'll say that much.
I'm not saying anything.
Well, I'm saying it's better than this movie. I don't know. Some people like this though, so it is what it is.
Your boy Jody did.
Hey, I ain't mad. I don't know if he really liked it, but I only give him credit because I get what he's doing. You're trying to stay clicked up, so I get it. You dig? A+ movie. I ain't mad at him. All right. And any last comments on Wonder Woman 84?
I don't know why they felt they need to put 84 in the title.
Yes, please speak about that, because that's another thing that was weird to me.
It was just what you would expect when you put 1984 in the title, but the year really has no substance with the plot. Just a lot of sight gags. That's the only reason. That's it, which I think is corny.
In fact, let me put on my Q hat for a moment. I was watching the Kevin Smith review of it, and his co-host Mark Bernardin pointed something out that I think we all walked right by. This movie set in 84 in DC, okay, in DC, and you got an all-white breaking crew? Really?
Oh, no, I picked up on that just watching the movie DC or not. I was like, okay.
Really?
I didn't even notice that. Wow.
I did. I was like, okay.
Well, the one thing I noticed, and Mike and I, we talked about this, how do you not have any references to Prince or Michael Jackson in 1984? Or Lionel Richie?
Or Madonna, or just anything like...
Because you can't do that. If you mention it, then there's going to be some type of reference, and then you'll be hearing from the labels and all that shit.
Well, this is a Warner Brothers movie.
Don't even say it.
And
then that means Madonna and Prince.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They put Prince in Justice League, right?
They did?
Yeah, at the very beginning, there's that newspaper, and it was like, it said something about they're all gone, and it was Prince, Bowie, and Superman. Like they all died at the same time. I was like, okay, I tip my hat to that.
Remember X-Men Apocalypse, was it? They had Nightcrawler in the Thriller jacket.
Ooh.
Was that Apocalypse?
Probably. I think it was, yeah. Yeah, they didn't play the 1984 thing really at all. Like if it's in the title of the movie, I was like, I thought this was going to be a nostalgia movie. They was going to have all these songs and just really pull you in. They didn't really do that. I mean, it was like from a person who wasn't in 1984, like, oh, I'm going to do something about huh?
And I'm going to go ahead and say it. In 84, we weren't doing fanny packs.
You sure?
I'm sure. I was there. We were not doing fanny packs. Parachute pants? Yes. Fanny packs? No. That wasn't until 89, 90.
How do you not have a scene where, it cuts to a bright day or whatever, wide shot of the street, and you don't have Van Halen jump? You got to have some music from the 80s to...
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like, I wonder if the movie was originally called Wonder Woman 84, because I just don't see... There wasn't nothing about it that...
Right. And it didn't have to be like the big hits. They could have got some like medium-sized hits, like some Men at Work, Bryan Adams, Eddie Grant, something, to let you know when this is. Walk down to Electric Avenue.
Hilarious.
Then you take it higher.
Yeah, it was, I don't know what, I'm not sure what they were thinking. Well, I know what they were thinking, but.
They want to spend that money. That's what they were thinking.
I wonder if we'll start to hear stories about there was some foolishness going on during the making of this. I guess we'll see. All right. Well, there you go. Let us know what you thought about Wonder Woman 84. And they have announced that they're fast tracking Wonder Woman 3. So hopefully they get it together for that one. I don't know how they're going to do that because real quick, because they got I think the next movie Gal and Patty are doing together is Cleopatra, and then of course Patty's doing the Rogue Squadron movie. So I don't know where they're going to throw Wonder Woman 3 to fast track it with all that going on, but we'll see. Go ahead, Q.
So I don't know anything about Wonder Woman's Rogues Gallery. Who else has she got? You the Wonder Woman. I'm assuming you know about the books.
Wait. I've read several of her books, but I'm not a steady reader of it. And other than Cheetah,
well, she's been fighting somebody for all these years. I mean,
You know, let's look. Shit, 'cause I don't know.
Well, there you go. Moving on, I wanted to play something. This is a funny clip that I saw, and let's just play a little bit of this here. Hopefully this will play.
You're gonna pop him.
I live on 400 Oxford Avenue, 2 blocks away. And you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? I'm gonna walk to you. I'm gonna walk right to my house for you, bro. Oh God, I'm not trying to disrespect you, bro. I'm not.
This is
I'm gonna say nigga all day,
white guy
every day. Are you kidding me? Where you from, nigga? Where you from? Where you from? Where the fuck you from, nigga? You from here? Get the fuck out of here, you a clown, nigga. Oh God, you a clown, nigga. You from here? You a clown. What, you gonna smack with that? Smack. Smack me. Smack me, nigga. Come on, get it. Drop it.
Yeah, you got yours, buddy.
You have to see it to really experience it, but that sound of that can cracking across his head, that boy, this one was for Nate Robbins. That's all I'm gonna say. This one's for you.
when I saw that, it reminded me of the scene in Malcolm X. Nigga, don't you ever talk about my mom.
Listen, I'm all for freedom of speech. And I always say, you want to say the N-word, you want to say nigga, you're not black, go right ahead. But be prepared for the repercussions. And this one right here, hey man, he was talking big stuff, boasting, he don't know who he's talking, you don't know who you're dealing with, right? And dude had a can. He grabbed a can. Somebody said it was a can of whoop ass, but it was a can. I think it was Arizona tea or something. And went to smack the shit out of him. And then I didn't play the rest, but then he starts beating dude down. And the white dude, you good? I'm good. It's good. You damn right, it's good. You wanted the nigga. Now the nigga's here. So you get what you asked for. But yeah, let that be a lesson to you. Just because you watching these movies or TV, you see Power and you see the white dude Tommy on there talking big shit.
But Tommy never dropped the N-bomb.
No, he didn't. They got enough sense to know that. But, some of these guys, they're tough guys. So he thought you was a bigger nigga than the nigga. So, hey, man, it is what it is. But, at least he had the right to say it. No one stopped him from saying it. So salute to that brother. He looked like an older white Jesus.
Jesus.
Well, no, what's that? Slim Jesus. I think that was he's a rapper. Go look him up anyway. Yeah, man.
I just call it when Q met Morpheus. That's all I call it.
Oh, Lord. Here you go. Even entertain that. I know we had some other stuff we were going to talk about as well.
Before I get to the next segment, her villains include Ares, god of war, another Amazonian named Circe, Giganta, and a bunch of people I never heard of.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
Pretty thin pickings.
Circe. Wasn't she a siren? A siren?
Not Circe. Circe is in Marvel.
Okay.
Circe is an eternal.
Mm.
And that's going to stink. Ooh.
Oh, and going back to the Mandalorian cat, what's his name? Padal?
Pedro.
Yeah. He's one of these guys, I never noticed him before, but now that I know because of the Mandalorian, I see him everywhere. I was just watching, is it Narcos? I don't know if anybody has watched that show.
Narcos is down.
Oh, yeah.
But he's in that. I just started watching, I'm like, oh, shit. This show is crazy. Damn, is that me with all this? Real quick, I wanted to read this and see if we can get any opinions. I just saw this come across here. Headline says no federal charges for officers in the 2014 fatal shooting of Tamir Rice. Department of Justice says. The Justice Department announced Tuesday that it would not bring federal criminal charges against 2 Cleveland police officers in the 2014 killing of 12-year-old Tamir Rice, saying video of the shooting was of too poor quality for prosecutors to conclusively establish what happened. This is in closing the case. The department brought to an end a long-running investigation into the high-profile shooting that helped galvanize the Black Lives Matter movement, and that became part of the national dialogue about police use of force against minorities, including children. I'm sorry, did you guys hear that? I apologize. That is me. My bad. The decision revealed in a lengthy statement does not condone the officer's actions, but rather says the cumulative evidence was not enough to support a federal criminal civil rights prosecution. I'm curious if you guys have any opinions or takes on that. Guess not.
Well, the burden of any criminal prosecution is reasonable doubt. And if this video is not clear enough to show what they're trying to show, then under the rules of evidence, it's irrelevant and not coming in. And without the video, you don't really have much to show reasonable doubt here. So now I can't recall off the top of my head what they were going to charge these guys with, but if they can't make reasonable doubt on whatever they're thinking on any type of murder, homicide thing, gotta let it go. Nobody likes it. Nobody's condoning it. But if the video is degraded to that extent, gotta let it go.
Wow, degraded video in 20-something. When did that happen? Like
2014?
2014.
I remember seeing a video on YouTube or someplace, Facebook. It was pretty damn clear to me. The cops pulled up, and the first thing they did, they got out the car and started shooting. That's what I seem to recall.
Yeah, well, I guess it wasn't as clear as you thought, apparently. Not clear enough. All I can say is American Skin. When is it coming out?
But I'm going to say this. Come at me. I'll put some of that on the parents. Why in the hell would you let your child go out with a realistic replica of a gun? Why would you do that?
So the gun didn't have the red tip on it?
It may have. It may have. I assume it did. But if you're a cop and you're wilding out and you see a black child or a black person, do you really? And you got
well, to be clear, Q, whether he had a gun or not, then based off of what you're about to say, it wouldn't matter, right? Because they're gonna blow your head off one way or the other. You black.
Well, I'm saying I don't imagine the cops would be able to focus on a red tip, right?
We don't know if it was.
I blame the cops for not, stand down, drop the weapon, stand down, down on the ground. I blame them for that, and I blame the parents for letting their son go out with a realistic replica of a gun.
That's that. You standing on that one? That's on you. It's your opinion. You're entitled to it.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Anybody else in comment?
Okay, I'm reading the little synopsis of it. It says the cops, when they got there, yelled, "Show me your hands," while they're in the car. They didn't just open up. And instead of showing his hands, it appeared as the young man was trying to draw. I don't see airsoft replica that lacked the orange tip barrel.
You say that again?
The gun did not have the orange tipped barrel. That's the problem.
That's on the record. It says that.
Would it make a difference if it was there?
It would make a lot more stronger case. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's why they make these things. I don't know if it's federal law. If it isn't, it's strongly encouraged, and it has been for years, that manufacturers put these tips on, man.
Is there any evidence that maybe it was painted over? Because typically they do. All the airsoft guns I have, they have an orange or red tip.
So just to be clear, that now the Department of Justice couldn't see the video enough, but you can see the video enough to tell her there wasn't a red tip on it.
To me?
Well, yeah, you said you were looking at it, right? Or
no, I'm reading. I'm not looking at the video.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. Interesting.
Now I do see a still from the video. It looks pretty blurry to me.
Right.
Is it snow on the ground, or maybe I'm thinking of the wrong video?
Yeah, it's snow on the ground.
I could have swore the cops pulled up out the car, guns blazing. That's what I remember.
I thought it was like it was like a 2-second thing or something like that. Right?
I mean, it was quick.
The car didn't even come to a full stop.
Right.
So like, show me your hands. And he moves like he's pulling out. Because I think it's all started, somebody called it in that there was a kid at the park with a gun. So they were already amped up.
And the person, they have the 911 call. The person says, the gun looks like a toy, but he keeps pointing it at people. Mm-hmm. But I mean, again, it's a 12-year-old. So,
and again, just to be clear, red tip or not, they thought it was a gun. They have less than a couple seconds to make all of this determination. You know what I mean? Like, taking away the fact that we can't tell, because they said they can't tell from the blurry video. If he had the tip, they still made that split-second decision to shoot him anyway. If he didn't have the tip, they still make the decision in a split second to kill him. It's just like, there's a lot that we're like sort of arguing over a lot, but hard pressed that they're able to focus and process all of that information in the couple of seconds that they had, right? They probably he just probably thought, here's some black dude with a gun, irregardless of age. I'm threatened, I'm gonna shoot him.
Right.
Well,
because there is a news story and footage of the police, and yes and no, it's a different jurisdiction. However, we can see how they are willing to de-escalate a situation. There's a news story that occurred actually around the same time, where the San Diego Police Department tried to talk a man down who was in the middle of a park where there were other people around pointing a gun at other people, and they called the police. The police came there. They established a perimeter and are speaking with him through megaphone, trying to get him to put the gun down and stop. And they went on for about an hour or so until they finally decided to shoot him. They decided to shoot him, wounded him in the stomach, and was able to go and bring him in. So it's like we see that there is this training to be able to de-escalate a situation where there is someone with a gun, but for some reason this didn't get that, because the fact that they just pull up and jump out and shoot when there clearly are means for them to have assessed the situation better and try to determine what he had and get him to drop it.
And like you said, following up on the training, these knuckleheads rolled right up on him. So that gave them no opportunity to establish a perimeter or anything like that. They put themselves in the line of fire. Idiots.
Yeah.
They could have pulled up, further away and said, look, hey, kid, knock that shit off. But they pulled right up, giving them really no recourse if something went down, because they're right there, which was stupid.
Yeah, because if you look at the video, it feels like they drove up in order to end some type of situation was going on. Like he had been shooting at other people, so they're like, okay, we got to end it, so go in and take them out as quick as possible. When that wasn't the case, and there was no opportunity to, get a surrender from Tamir. That's what really bugs me, especially. Then just recently we just saw, what was the video footage of the man on the highway reaching for the gun, having the gun, threatening the police, and they're doing everything in their power not to shoot him. And
so he wasn't black, was he?
Of course not.
Oh well, there's no. You don't have to beat around. Those rules are different depending on who they're dealing with. That's just it's not a question. I'm not gonna do that. So wasn't there just something recently in the news where some guy got killed? They just fired the cop. Because he said the black man had a gun. He didn't have a gun. He just had his phone and his other hand was in his pocket. It's like a big brouhaha about this right now. And again, the rules are different for black people. If anything, I guess you would say to your child, it really doesn't really matter what age. If you're black, don't be out on the street in any sort of circumstances where they may think you're a threat, because all of that other stuff you're talking about, they throw that out of the window for you.
You know, to follow up on what Q said about the parents, I remember being young, and then, you know, as we all get older, as we all do, I remember my mom telling people, her friends and me, to my face, she said, "You never had guns or war toys ever." And I'm like, "I know. Why not?" She said, "Because of shit like this." Like, okay, fair enough.
But I guess the thing is now, though, that's almost irrelevant, because whether you have a war toy or not, any sort of black item in your hand will get you shot.
Yeah.
They're not taking the time to look to see if you got a war toy. If anything they think is a gun and you're black, they're not gonna negotiate with you. Yeah, here it is right here. Ohio police officer fired for fatally shooting unarmed black man. He thought he had a gun. He didn't. But again, he's not going to stand there and go back and forth with you. They're going to blast you. That's a fact. So you can't argue what kind of thing he had. He had a black object in the hand, and the white officer is scared. He's going to shoot.
And that goes back to training, man. Damn.
I don't know if it goes back to training. They obviously trained not to do that. My point is to say they don't give a fuck about that. That training is for white folks. They are trained. Let's keep it clear. They just choose the one they want to do it. And they don't see your life as worth it. So while we be arguing about all this other stuff, they just don't see your life as worth it off the rip. So they don't do the argument of if he had a toy gun or you black. I don't know what that's in your hand. So I'm not taking no choices. You gonna die. They don't argue back and forth about it. They shoot. So I'm just saying we probably should be telling our people, don't have stuff in your hand. If you got a phone, you better drop it or put your hands up immediately, because they're not going to sit there and they ain't trying to do all the negotiation with you. They show you that they'll blast first, and then they can argue it in the courts later, but you're going to be dead.
And see, it's like you showed that video or put up that video clip the other day. You know, that whole hotel thing. It's like, look, man, shut the fuck up. Deal with it in court. That's simple.
And
you know, I don't know how that resolved.
Right. Going back to this Ohio thing, you know, it's not about age, right? The guy who was just fired, the officer, Adam Coy, he was a 19-year veteran. So he got training. And he didn't shoot down some thug. He shot down a 47-year-old grown-ass black man. That ain't got nothing to do with telling your kids. It's not about the age. It's not about the training. It's about the race of the person. That's it. And until you understand that, you'll be putting your life in danger out here in these streets. It's that real.
Did he die?
The guy who got shot?
Yeah.
Yeah, it says officer fired for fatally shooting an unarmed man. Damn. It was fatally mean he died, yeah. I'm going to say, you know, we can, of course, yeah, the police department had to come out immediately and condone, you know, to fire him and yeah, everybody gonna argue and all that. But see, the thing is, he did, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, yeah, you gonna win the argument, but you ain't gonna win your life. So that's what I'm saying. Hopefully, people y'all listen to what I'm telling you. You better be very careful out there. No matter how age you are, how you dress, they don't know how you work at. If you got a job, they see black, think you got a gun. Chances are you're going to get shot. So remember that when you're out walking around, and act accordingly. Right? They don't do the he's sagging or he got a great job. They don't get, he black. That's what they judge. So you got to understand, know what they judge by, then you can know how to react. But if you thinking they playing all these little politic games, they don't. They just blasting. So you gotta be very clear what we're dealing with. And that's unfortunate, man. But 2020 is not no exception. And shout out to this brother, Andre Maurice Hill. You know, he our age, 47 years old. You know, it's unfortunate. I don't know if this is the same one I saw. The brother was in his garage working on his car. I don't know if you saw that. That's one that just came out too. And they killed him. I think this might be the one. He was at his own house in his garage. He had the garage up. Somebody called and said there was some noise going on in his garage or something. He's in there working on his car. He got killed. The cop came and shot him. They thought he was a burglar, I guess, or something. He in his house. So you got to be very careful. Very careful. But there you go, man. Let's see. What else we got here to get into?
Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah, what's that one? What's the Dwayne story?
Young man who got cut from the Redskins was a first-round draft pick 2 years ago, and they cut him yesterday.
Wow.
Anthony Booger McFarland was quite critical of young Mr. Haskins and players of color. You got that clip?
I do. Tell me about this brother who got fired, because I didn't know about this. What happened?
Dwayne Haskins?
Yeah.
Again, he played high school in the D.C. area, went to Ohio State.
Unfortunately,
I want this guy. And I just learned this today. Once he finished his eligibility, he had a draft party where they were charging admission. Right there, we're going to have a problem. Last year he didn't play a lot. This year they put him out there, didn't do well, and I'm hearing he's at the booty club and all these other things, out not paying attention to the COVID restrictions. Then he comes back and they put him back in, those 2 interceptions, and they're like, you got to go.
This is first year?
Go, mm-hmm.
Did anybody know how much he was getting paid and all that?
He was getting 4.3 this season.
And you say, he's coming from college, and this is his first time in a pro?
No, this was second year.
Second
year, but he was a first-round draft pick. They get some nice money.
Man, he got cut because of his partying, you said, or because he couldn't play?
Never see a first-rounder get cut.
No, I'm asking. He got cut for what reason?
He got cut for being a quote distraction, not being a part of the team,
not being prepared, disciplinary.
Exactly.
Essentially, he came in thinking his shit don't stink, and he was going to be the man in DC, and it's like, those rules don't apply to me. I'm the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he was a quarterback.
He was a quarterback, yeah.
Interesting.
Now, Shannon Sharp, who I do not like, made a great point.
Wait a minute, what?
I'm not a Shannon Sharp fan, man.
Wow.
You know why?
Hater. Just a hater.
Shut up. Sterling was a better receiver out of the two of them, but I digress. Shannon mentioned this one backup quarterback. I forget the guy's name, but this guy's been in the league years and has made around $40 million being a backup. And Shannon said this guy couldn't play dead in a Western, but he's in there working hard, in the classroom, not falling asleep, any shit like that, not being a distraction, and they keep him. Coaches will tell you, we will cut you. Don't cut yourself. And that's what Haskins did.
Interesting. All right, let me play this clip and then we can talk.
Unfortunately, I've seen this too many times. Played in the NFL almost a decade. You played a long time. We've been around it for a long time. And oftentimes young players, especially, and I'm going to go here, especially young African-American players, because they make up 70% of this league. They come into this league and they ask themselves the wrong thing. They come into the league saying not, how can I be a better player? They don't say, how can I be a better teammate? They don't say, how can I be a better person? How can I get my organization over the hump? Here's what they come in saying. They come in saying, how can I build my brand better? How can I build my social media following better? How can I work out on Instagram and show everybody that I'm ready to go, but when I get to the game, I don't perform? Dwayne Haskins, unfortunately, is not the first case that I've seen like this.
Yes.
And it won't be the last. And it bothers me because a lot of it is the young African-American player. They come in and they don't take this as a business. It is still a game to them.
They look at it as football.
This ain't football,
Right.
man. This is a billion-dollar business.
Yes.
It's billions of dollars. They pay us a lot of money to talk about the game. So imagine what they pay these guys to play the game.
Yes. Yeah.
They play a child's game and get paid a king's ransom. And it bothers me because I saw a quarterback do it. I saw Jamarcus Russell do it. The number one pick in the draft, they gave him $40 million and he threw it down the damn drain because he didn't take it seriously. And it bothers me because there are a lot of jobs like this around. I'm going to tell you, I've been retired a while. It's not a lot of jobs like that around where they will pay you millions of dollars for virtually 6 months of performance. So my message to Dwayne Haskins, not just him, but the rest of the young players in the NFL, man, this is a game, but take it as a business. There are billions with a B of dollars at stake. And until you start approaching this game that way, until you start coming to work saying, you know what can I do to get better today? What can I do to make sure my teammates are better today? How can I put my organization first instead of my damn Instagram? Take it as a serious business, but too many times it's a game. We want a TikTok. We want to do all these different things. Man, do you understand how much money is at stake?
Interesting. And this was who was this brother that's speaking?
Anthony McFarland played line, got for 10 or so years in the league.
His nickname was Booger, right?
That's him.
Something about that guy. I don't know.
But I don't want to say offense, but he's making this a racial thing, and he went back to Jamarcus Russell, who did suck, don't get me wrong, but he's overstepping Johnny Manziel. Guy was a Heisman Trophy winner, went number one to Cleveland in 2014, and got cut in 2015, and is still out of the league. You know, before Jamarcus, the Raiders had my man, Todd Marinovich. Same thing. They gave him a shot. He wasn't ready. Has to go. You know, he is right that a lot of players, and I'm not gonna break it down by race. I'm gonna break it down by position. Most of the receivers, yeah, I said it. They are out there TikToking and all that shit, but most of them are also doing the work. You can't do both, you know, because I put up a clip the other day of J.J. Watt from the Houston Texans saying, look, people are still trying to believe in us even though we suck. We are trash. We are 4-11, and I got people in my ear saying, oh, I'm going to take a playoff. No. This is one of the best jobs you can have. You work half the year. You get paid millions to play a game. And if you can't put in the work needed, then you can't be here. This is a privilege. As far as quarterback, there are 32 jobs as starting quarterbacks. Haskins had one and pissed it away. Now, will he get another gig? I don't know. But he definitely played himself.
And Pooh, you had something to say about this, right? What do you think about it?
The fact that he inserted saying specifically African Americans, I just thought that was just out of line and totally unnecessary because you can say I'm being sensitive. Oh, well, there have been white football players that have screwed up their careers. I'm looking at Ryan Leaf.
Brian Bosworth.
And there's another one, yes. And the further thing was he said, you need to take he's chastising them about not taking this as a business, but then saying, they're too busy trying to build their own brand. I'm sorry. Isn't building your brand taking it like a business? So it's like you're giving mixed message and not making sense there. Yes, you absolutely need to show up and perform for the team, but let's be clear. The team will cut your ass the moment you don't make economic sense to them. There are no guaranteed contract. So I do not begrudge any of these NFL players working on building their brand outside of the field. So that's the reason why I just looked at him like, dude, you're talking trash. And why are you singling out the black players? Because it's not, again, as Mark said, it's not a race thing. It's a young immaturity thing.
Exactly. It's a young knucklehead thing.
Brick by brick. And I'll be damned if I let you tear it down just because you don't like the way another nigga talk.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Shit.
Here you
Yeah,
go.
goddamn it.
Here you go. I know you going there, but
What was that clip from?
One of the greatest shows on TV, in my opinion, Snowfall.
Do you know that guy is English?
I do. He's the beast, man. He's
I
the
did
next
not
dude.
know that.
He's the next cat, man.
I had no idea he was English.
Yeah. But going back to this.
Going back to the situation, if a player wants to, quote, build brand, hey, man, what you do all season is what you do. But when you're on the clock and you're the fucking quarterback, dude, you're the leader. Like it or not, you're the leader. People are looking at you to take their cues. If you fuck off, they will fuck off. If you're about the work, they will be about the work. And since they've invested so much in you and you don't want to be what they need you to be, you can go. Especially at that position, especially at the quarterback position.
I can get why people would be upset by some of the things this man said on his commentary. For me, I'm not a sports guy, so I'm just going to look at it as just normal. If he was not on TV and there was some brothers standing around, or it was some your older uncle or father or something, and he is telling you that same thing, you would understand the nuance of what he's talking about. But, even when he's saying, because we were black boat, and you knew you knew what he was saying. So that's how I would look at this. Now, of course, he is saying this on mainstream TV, which is, the dominant society. So I would kind of, I don't know, it's a funny look to say it like that, but I'm not necessarily mad about because I get what he's saying, in my opinion. Like, I get what he's trying to say. He may not have, again, that's why I played this clip. He may be hurting people's feelings or not saying it the right way, and some could be questionable, off code-ish. But I get what he's saying, and I'm only saying it in terms to the young man who got cut off the team, that type of thing. You don't blame everybody because of the actions of one dude. But I would say when you're on that level, and that was a job, essentially he was working his job on a high level where you say he's getting like $4 million or something like that. Sometimes I think you need to get a little more harsher or, slightly colorful way of somebody coming at you to try and save the next person, because not many people are going to get that job. And unfortunately, there's probably a lot of African Americans who want that job. And you're not going to get it. But at least if you do get it there, what that job could mean for you and your family going forward is a big deal. So it'd be behooves to me that you don't get up there and think like they won't fire your black ass if you're going to work for them on that level. There's not too many entertainment jobs where if you black and you get to acting a fool, whether you made them some money or not, they go cut you quick.
Jesse Smollett.
Well, yeah, even what's his name, Cuba, he going. You won't hardly hear him because he was acting a fool out there. He thought he was on some. What's the dude? The figurehead of the Me Too abuse type dude. What's that dude? He got killed in the jail cell.
What?
The guy who died in the jail cell. He said it was a suicide. He's about to go to court over all that Me Too stuff.
Jeffrey Epstein?
He thought he was on his, I'm out here Hollywood and doing chicks and whoop whoop whoop. No. No. Bill Cosby, As I'm saying, you can make them a lot of money. You can be the top, but you black. You ain't gonna get away with it. They'll definitely send your ass down. They set their own folks down barely. So They don't play fair. It's not a fair game. You know, it'll hurt your feelings, but you ain't the boss. You work for them. So they going to sit you down. They ain't going to let you act a fool. I think this is kind of what he's trying to say. Like, yeah, man, you on a high level. You doing your thing. But best believe you get to acting the fool. And you not even the upper echelon type niggas in entertainment. They don't let us in there like that, bruh. This is how I read what he's saying. I can argue whatever, but
so he was talking about at the barbershop instead of TV.
That's what I'm saying. If he said it in a different arena, yeah. But I get it. I get why you would be upset about it. I can understand. I kind of side-eye what he's saying too. Go ahead, Q.
No, I'm just saying you remind me of that scene in Glory when my man Denzel was telling Andre Brower, you think you're an intelligent nigga, huh?
Hilarious.
You ain't nothing but a
No, I'm not. And I'm not saying, I'm just saying, unfortunately, it's not fair. There's things, just going back to what we talked about with people getting shot and stuff. It's not fair. You can show us all types of videos where dudes is acting a fool and white folks is damn near beating the cop's ass. And he gonna walk off of that. Or the dude who shot up the black church, they don't take him to get a burger. They're not gonna take you to get a burger. It's not right, but that's the reality. Like, it's not fair. They on some other shit.
They're taking the Popeye chicken sandwich, though.
Shit, they ain't gonna take you nowhere. If that don't blow your head up. But I'm just saying, it's not fair. So even entertainment, like this football dude, it's unfortunate, man, because I imagine he must be a young guy.
Oh, yeah.
And I hope he gets another chance. I hope he can learn and get a second chance. But yeah, man, you put in some work first, get your bag, and then get some other businesses going, then fuck it all. So if you get fired, at least you got your money and you start some other businesses and it don't matter to you. But if you just starting out and you the quarterback, you think, me personally, I can look at this as an experience. I don't know how too many other of these white owners that's gonna be like, I ain't gotta put up with this bullshit. He ain't coming over here. You're done. You're blackballed. You're gonna be like Kilpatrick, whatever his name. You're gonna be done. They're gonna sit you down, bro. They ain't gonna give you the third or fourth chance. So, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, it was homie being, all African American, but you know what he's trying. He's an older brother. You know what he meant by that. There's a little coon in him, but that's
But the thing is, and I don't know why, unless this happened and we're not aware of it. If all these NFL commentators who are former players, McFarland included, if they all see it, because we all see it, people who follow the game, we all see this, why didn't one of them try to reach out to him directly? And say, look, man, let me pull your young ass aside.
They don't want to mess up their gig.
Shit.
What do you mean?
If somebody who's done what you're trying to do pulls you aside, you should get that respect.
A lot of these cats don't want to listen, though.
That's true. That's true. But if someone made that effort, I'm not aware of it. But if someone had, maybe this would have turned out different for him.
Possible. I agree. I mean, it's certainly possible. You would hope that he has some family or somebody like
somebody.
Man, this is we getting generational wealthy. What the fuck are you doing?
What was that player maybe a couple years ago, who was just fucking up left and right? Orlando something or I can't think of his name. He went over to his baby mama's house, starting drama.
Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown, yeah.
Oh yes.
Didn't someone reach out to him? Well, that didn't do much good, did it?
But Antonio Brown was an established star at that point. He wasn't young and new. He built up a resume. For some reason, unbeknownst to me, I'm going back to this, receivers get more fucking shots than anybody. They're bringing back Josh Gordon again. And this guy's been kicked out of the league for drugs 4 or 5 times.
Receivers get beat the fuck up. They're not too many
What game are you watching, man?
receivers
Receivers.
up the middle.
Shit.
Line hits. Come on.
Pause.
Clay
Pause.
Davis.
Pause.
Anthony, speak to him. Receivers don't get hit anymore, man. You breathe through all these punk ass. Yeah, I said it. Punk ass receivers. It's a flag. Okay. All that shit they're doing now, you can't do back in the 70s and 80s because Jack Tatum and Mel Blount are coming to see you. Now, hey, we need higher scoring games. Don't hit these guys. I mean, think about it. When you belt the receiver across the middle and get flagged for, well, he was defenseless. Motherfucker's on the field, ain't he? He got the ball, don't
on the field.
The shit, he got coming to get hit.
Why you sound like John Amos? You sound like John Amos. I'm like Good Times Dad and shit. Damn.
Receivers do not get hit, man. That's why they can do all the TikToking and bullshit now, because there's no repercussions on the field.
I guess times are different since Marvin Harrison and my Colts played the game. I don't know.
Times are different.
The thing was getting jacked up back then.
Shit. They ain't been getting jacked up since 1989.
Okay. All right.
Dude, watch any game this weekend, and you tell me I'm wrong. Some receiver will prance across the middle, get belted, and you be like, okay, cool. Oh, there's a flag. Quarterback's even worse. If you don't hit a quarterback above the belt and below the neck, it's 15. Period. If you glance him in any other area, it's 15. That's bullshit, man. This is football. This is a collision sport. You want to play? Get off the damn field. Period. Go play golf. But ain't nobody out there receiver-wise getting hit, man. None of them. None of them. That's why they're racking these numbers up.
Okay. All right.
I hate
They gonna come talk to me about money laundering in West Baltimore? Shit. Looking forward to working with
Shit. You talking to me about some football player? Shit.
I just found out that one of my clients is a friend of that guy's. I'm like, seriously?
Clay Davis?
The actor from The Wire.
Cool.
Oh, I thought you meant old boy from New York Undercover. I was like, what?
Why not?
Okay.
You don't lost the host again.
What is that? What's his name again?
Who, the actor, Clay Davis?
No, the dude from New York Undercover.
New York Undercover.
Malik. That's what I thought you were talking about. Q.
No.
Okay. Yeah, my boy. Malik. Oh, okay. Yeah. Shit.
Can I ask you a question, man? Did y'all talk about Soul or Coming to America too?
No, we didn't actually. Go ahead.
No, I saw Soul. I don't know if anyone else did. I was very disappointed. I thought the music
Really?
I thought the music was great. But I'm gonna say it. I don't need to see any more animation where black people get turned into creatures. I think I'm done with that.
Now, I've only seen bits and pieces of it because I wasn't paying too much attention.
Before
my
we get into
kids
Soul,
liked it.
Q, go to Discord and go to the general. Tell me when was the last time you saw something like that?
Something like what?
Just I put up a link in a general.
And remember, this is an audio show, so they don't know what you're talking about. So maybe we should just
I'll
go.
explain it after he watches it.
Right.
Oh, okay. Big sexy boy. He's like the Terminator. I'm gonna prove my shit.
Now, what I put,
man, I trust you. I trust you.
What I put in the chat was a clip from the 76 Raiders Vikings Super Bowl where rookie standout receiver Sammy White went across the middle in front of Jack Tatum and George Atkinson, got dealt with, helmet flew off, chin strap flew another direction, but I'll give him this. He held on to the ball. Now, did he get up and do the boogaloo? No, he did not. Because back in the day, you would tip across the middle, and if you catch it, you damn near apologize. If you hit one of these wussy receivers like that today, you'd get kicked out the league. Tell me I'm wrong.
You got it, bro. You got it.
Carry it like that, man. It's no sport. Pussy
All right.
ass receivers. Don't
Okay.
get me. I'm defenseless. Pussy.
All right. I'm going to go ahead with Soul.
Okay, back to Soul.
You were asking me a question, Mike.
Well, you were saying what you didn't like about it? No?
Oh no, I thought it was needlessly confusing with the souls and the personalities and in the zone and this and that, and I had a hard time following it, and I just it like I say, when you look at Princess and the Frog, the Black League gets turned into a frog. Will Smith leads an animated film, Spies in Disguise. He gets turned into a pigeon. Can I spoil this or no?
Oh,
I got lit up on Discord so can I spoil it or not?
Go ahead.
Well, you got lit up because you weren't in the spoiler chat, but that's all right.
Well, it's a Jamie Foxx's character gets turned into a blue Smurf. That's one. He gets inhabited by the essence of Tina Fey, his body on Earth. That's 2. And then the part that really pissed me off, not pissed me off, but he's willing to give up his career so that I won't say white mommy
Here you go.
can have her destiny fulfilled on Earth. So
Is that what's going on? I didn't pay attention. Is that what's going on in this movie?
That's the movie I saw. That's how my son explained it to me.
Wow.
I'm like, what? And then at the end of, well, I don't
Wait,
know.
whoa.
Which one is it?
Wait a minute. I'm on my big say. Whoa. Did you watch Soul already?
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's a black movie on streaming.
I'm not sure where you're going with this.
Well, because I know your stance.
What's my stance?
On black streaming movies.
Huh?
You usually wait.
I have a stance?
Oh, I thought you normally would wait. There's no rush to watch those movies. Since I'm not in the theater, you said you can.
Well, I'm going to be on my Jada Pink and say this is different.
Okay, that's what that. Huh?
These were blockbusters. These are
what?
New releases coming out. I was going to say blockbuster, but I didn't mean that. I meant, meant to be tentpole films coming out on streaming right away. That's kind of an event.
Oh, okay.
I said it. You don't like it? I said it.
I thought, what was the one with? Was it Ava DuVernay?
When they see us.
Yeah, you already know. I thought that was an event.
But it's not something that is going to go away in 30 days.
Soul is going away in 30 days?
I thought someone just said Wonder Woman's going away in 30 days.
We were talking about Soul.
Right. I assume that's going to go away too.
Why would you assume that?
Well, why would one movie studio do something and another movie studio not do the same thing?
Because they're not the same studio.
Yeah, is Disney putting all their movies on streaming next year like the other studios?
I'm just saying.
I'm going by your logic.
I had time today.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm just asking. Sorry.
Hey, hashtag, what did you get me on?
You right. Show you right.
Sit down and watch the shit.
Show you right. Okay. I was checking.
And it wasn't nearly as traumatic as watching When They See Us. Damn.
Oh.
Well, but it was more detrimental to the black man because you say you sick of seeing us turn into animals.
spirit animals.
And you say, well, taking over, laying down a life, as you said, white mommy.
It was driving. It turned into Driving Miss Daisy at the end.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me watch this movie.
Yeah, go ahead and watch it. The music is outstanding.
But I could hear the music, and I'll say this: from what I peeked at it, I was getting kind of low key, like, man, they're kind of hitting home with the, follow your dreams, and you don't have much time on this earth, but maybe there's a lot more going on than I gathered from my brief viewpoint. So, I guess I better be more woke. Say right.
The animation and the animation is great too. It's some of the best I've ever seen. But yeah, why can't black people just be black people in these movies?
I hear you. Anybody else watch it?
I did.
I have not seen it.
I thought it was okay. Decent story. They did have probably one of the best barbershop scenes ever.
That was
It
a good
definitely,
thing. That was the best scene in the movie.
yeah, all black people, by the way. Unfortunately, the main character was inhabited by a white woman, but that being that withstanding, it definitely felt authentic and a really good peek into black lives in an animated film. It's produced by Pixar. Um, it was kind of confusing to a certain extent as far as because we've all seen a trailer where most of us have seen a trailer where he falls in the manhole and we presume he's dead, and then he goes to this limbo world where he's supposed to go to the afterlife, but he's trying to get back to Earth because he has this passion where he wants to perform with this band. Uh, and to me, this character played by Tina Fey, which Q's bringing this up. He got a point. I think it might have been more tolerable or acceptable if that was a black actress that was playing that character. 'Cause then you wouldn't have that underlying. Because when he got to the end and he was giving back when he got to the end where he decides, you go live your life. Part of me was just kind of looking like, so you on your Denzel Washington? What was that? In the Line of Fire? What was that movie where he laid down for Dakota Fanning's character?
Man on Fire.
Close enough. It just kind of felt like that, where you just like the film is.
Would that be White Daughter?
The film is taking you through this story, this awakening of this man who you feel is he's chasing his dream, and you want to see him succeed. You see everything that he's done, you want to see him succeed. So when he get to that point, you're just thinking like, okay, that's not a very satisfying ending. Why did you take us through all that if he ultimately might just give it all up?
And
Go ahead.
Interesting.
Go ahead.
No, I was done.
See, I got into an argument with my 14-year-old about this. I'm like, I sat through the whole movie wanting to see him play with the character's name is Dorothea Walker. I think she's voiced by Angela Bassett, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
She's
I
just
thought I heard her voice.
great jazz saxophonist, I think, and he gets his shot to play. And I'm like, can we get out of this fucking spirit world? Because I want to see him play with this chick. That's what I want to see. Because they really did a good job of establishing this black man's life. And I just hated the fact that they made it seem like the theme of the film was, well, you haven't really lived at all. I'm like, fuck, he hasn't. I want to see his life some more. His mother, played by Felicia Rashad, and all her friends, that was good. I thought that was a nice chunk of black culture. All right.
Yeah.
And he wants to play with this artist. And then at the end, it's like, okay, to the point I'm spoiling. The point is that while the black man is trapped into the body of a fucking cat, and a white woman is trapped in his body, and they're like buddy cop movie type of thing, trying to get him back to play for the jazz artist, which was his dream. I'm like, he's missing, like Ant talked about the scene in the barbershop where he sets one of the barbers straight. And that was one of the most touching scenes in the film, right? And so then Tina Fey's character like, well, you've been missing out. You've been so tied into your dream of playing jazz, you haven't been living life. It's kind of like Mo Better Blues, where Denzel lets the son go out and play at the end of the movie because he doesn't want his son to get wrapped up into the jazz. I don't know if that's a good message. You gotta be persistent. You gotta stay focused. Work it like a job. And so at the end, we see him walk out the door and say, okay, I'm going to live my life. Cut to credits. But there's so much they could have done. Like, there's a couple of references they make to a woman that he was in love with named Lisa. And they're like, are you going to talk to Lisa again? But no. It would have been cool to see a woman walk up to his door and say, hey, I rented the apartment upstairs. What's your name? Lisa. Boom. And now you see him doing something so that the black man gets some sort of satisfaction. To me, it was like, he's a black character. He's going to suffer. Oh, I want to live my life. Okay, I missed out on the jazz thing, but hey, I'm living. Fuck that.
Man, I don't know. I hear conspiracy brothers are breaking this down. Boy, you better. I guess we're glad that he didn't want to be a rapper.
Lord have mercy. I just don't like he gave up all of his dream, and he was schooled by a white woman telling him, you're missing out on life.
Message.
He was gonna play with one of the best jazz artists in New York City.
Interesting. Man, wow. Okay, maybe I did take a closer look at
a white
this.
woman schooled him, huh?
It doesn't necessarily bother me, but why? Enough is enough.
Oh, hey, maybe we'll get a movie
Now,
where it's a white woman wants to be in a pop rock band or something, and then the black guy takes over her body and
Little Richard tries to help her out. Is that what
but I
you're
guess
saying?
I would guess that would be a magical Negro if they did that.
Now, to be fair, my Michael D, he's calling her a white woman, but she's not an actual realized person. She's what did they call her? A thought or
How do you know what race she is? When you say she's a white
Well,
woman?
I mean, she's voiced Latina face, so you can imply.
Oh, I'm asking a question.
How do I know what race she is?
Yeah, you said she's a white woman.
How many black women talk like this? Oh my gosh!
Oh, you don't think there's black women talk like that?
Look at me.
Send your emails to QStar.
You heard me. I said it. Although the one thing I did like was when she was in the barbershop. Even though we see a black person as a white woman, I said white woman.
Mm-hmm.
She's really just like a spirit. I don't know, character, personality, or something.
Q said race is in everything.
She's an unborn spirit. That's what
Black
she is.
and white spirits.
But she sounds like a white woman to me. So when she's sitting in the
Sounds
chair,
like a white.
she's just having a conversation with this brother. No issue with anything like that. And I did like that. I will admit it. Just two people talking.
Man, if only the other side of this podcast, boy, if they could just talk and say all this loose stuff. It sounds like a black guy to me. I mean, it's a black ghost. What do you mean he sounds black, John? I mean,
we know how to code switch. So
he sounds like a black guy.
Hey.
What the Mandalorian? Why does he sound like an African American?
Isn't he Hispanic? Isn't the guy Hispanic? He's Hispanic, isn't he? He's got the mustache and all. I'll stand behind everything I said, goddammit.
I know what you mean. I'm just fucking with you.
See that Negro said, I know what you mean, but I'm gonna be over here.
All right. Well, damn. I don't know if I want to watch it now.
No, I want to get your opinion.
Now you're making me question the whole fact that it's called Soul. It's kind of funny.
The other thing in there is that they played
Soul
up the jazz music in the trailer. They're playing up this. They're playing up the fact that it's the first African American led Pixar film, but there are no singing numbers in here whatsoever, and that's what I come to expect from a Pixar film.
Or maybe they knew that because they didn't want to play into the all we doing is singing and dancing.
Oh, so he plays.
We can't do nothing.
So people can sing.
Well, I mean, they don't know which way to go. Yeah, you people.
That's right. That's right.
That was directed by a brother, right? Well, what that? Well, no, that.
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with you. We can't. Whatever we do can be picked apart because I didn't mind Mary J. Blige singing about some chicken. I was okay with that.
There you go.
Chicken wraps. It wasn't no Popeye. I got Popeyes. It wasn't none of that.
Whoa, you got a song already written.
Y'all seen that commercial? That bullshit commercial where the guy gets Popeye's delivery and he's singing about it?
I haven't, but
this is going really
exciting things are happening at Burger King.
This is really going to
what's in those new chicken snack wraps?
Hold
What's
on.
in the new chicken snack?
chicken wraps.
Mary?
Crispy chicken, fresh lettuce, 3
Get him, Mary.
cheeses, fresh rice and wrapped up in the tasty flour
hope she got a really
tortilla.
big
Crispy chicken, wrapped up in the
The new chicken snack wraps. Come and get it at Burger King.
Oh, she
She's
got
thinking
a
about
nice-
crispy chicken or the D, because she was hitting them
Huh?
notes.
Yeah,
I'm talking about Mary, the way she was hitting them notes.
That was Ampu.
Anyway, so this is going to really sing Q about the movie Soul. One of the writers is Kemp Powers, whose credits is Star Trek Discovery.
Oh Lord.
There you go. We got one more selection.
An officer stops you. Always be polite and never ever run away. Promise mama you'll keep your hands inside. Is it a gun? Is it a knife? Is it a wallet? This is your life. It ain't no secret. It ain't no secret. No secret, my friend. You can get killed just for living in your American skin.
Whoa! And the cold thing is she's singing that to Hillary Clinton and she grabs her hand, which American skin. Boy, I hope Nate Parker is as petty as I am. He starts the movie with that. Because that's the name of his movie. But anyway. There you go. So yeah.
I got a selection too.
Oh, go ahead. Hey.
I'm sorry, I can never hear that beat without thinking of this song.
Salute to Mary J. Blige. What we were talking about, Soul. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it though. I'm still gonna watch it. And my kids, they seem to love it. You know, younger mine. But I guess you're kind of saying it might be a sinister message underneath it or some subconscious message in the movie. Let's see. Anything else before we get out of here?
Can't think of anything.
Okay. Well, with that, we're gonna wrap this up.
I
go
truly
ahead.
hate that commercial with that guy. That's fucking Popeyes. Oh man. I got Popeyes. Really?
On a Friday day.
No.
Is that what they sing?
Damn near.
Because I was like, that could be a nice little bag for, who was that, Smokey?
Like, yeah, Smokey wrote that.
I've got Popeye.
So does he sing with everything? So when he walks in the house from, Costco, I got TCL. Come on, man.
Hey,
It's just a TV. It's just chicken.
the bag is there, I guess. Hammer got his bag early. He was one of the first.
Hammer was a sucker, though.
Wow.
Is there any food we can sing about that we don't get clowned over?
I tell you what, the minute you see me singing about a Michelin restaurant, clown me. Because it'll never happen.
Hey, you never know now. See, I can already.
Well, I know.
One of these big ones you love, and say, "Come on, we have you." You
I
touch-
got French laundry.
But that gets you doing something real.
Well,
You can't touch this.
And Mark's thinking about lobster risotto and shit.
I do love me some risotto.
We talking about Coming to America 2?
Say it again.
Are there clips out from that yet?
Coming to America 2.
Oh, well, I think the trailer's out, right?
It is?
Yes.
How's it look?
It's really sad when a trailer dashes your hopes for a movie.
Damn.
Really? You didn't like it?
It looks like just a retread of the first one with all the barbers and the characters in the barbershop. Them motherfuckers should be dead by now. Come on.
It's I mean, you're right, I suppose. But if you can believe there's an African black prince coming, you can believe that there's some older guys. It looks just like the first one. So to me, I was like, okay.
That's the problem.
I'll watch
That's
it.
the
If the
problem.
first one was
You
funny.
didn't like the first one?
No, I'm saying this looks like a retread of the first one. I'm not interested in seeing the same thing.
Oh, so it's like Home Alone 2.
Pretty much.
I'll watch it. It ain't like I got to go out to the theater. sit at home for free. I'm all in. But salute to Eddie. You know what I'm saying? We're going to support Eddie. He has given us a lot of flops. But
yeah,
his last few films have been good, I think.
They have when you
I just see
both. I'm trying to remember all of them. The one I can think of is
Dolomite.
Dolomite was cool. That was good.
Dolomite was good.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Can't remember what was before that.
Dreamgirls.
Dreamgirls, yeah. What about the one?
Dreamgirls
It was a sci-fi one. What was that one? Rosario Dawson was in it.
What? Pluto Nash.
Pluto, Lord.
Oh Lord.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's had some flops now.
Yeah, his last couple ones was Dolomite is My Name, Mr. Church, where I guess he decided to be Magical Negro, 1,000 Words, Tower Heist. I did enjoy that one. That was a good one. I liked it.
1,000 words.
1,000 words, yes. You get Eddie Murphy and you put him in a movie where he can't talk. And he's like, yes, I'll do it.
Hey,
well, check big enough. Yeah.
Hashtag the mortgage payments.
Hey.
No. Hashtag 10 kids.
Oh, shit.
But I got Arsenio Hall. I can't remember. Maybe Mike, you know, or one of y'all know. There's an Ice Cube album where Mike Epps does what do you call them when they talk in the middle of a song? What do they call?
Interlude? Skit?
Interlude. Yeah. Where he calls up Ice Cube. Ice, when are we gonna do the next Friday, man? I'm hurting over here, man. I need to take this money, flip it on the next one, and let's do another movie. That's Arsenio Hall to me.
Really?
What is he doing other than what has he done since his talk show? Other than calling Eddie up and say, let's do this Coming to America too.
He's probably paid and don't gotta do shit.
Say what?
Does he still tour?
Tour on what? What he tour doing? What
stand up?
Arsenio Hall?
Yeah. I know he was a stand up before he did the show.
Touring, he needs to fire his publicist.
I would assume he's paid like a motherfucker and don't need to do
but he still got bills. These people, they live in a
I'm sure he's got bills. I'm just saying, I would imagine he's not hurting for money, but I don't know. I could be wrong.
If he's making $10 million a year, but he's spending $9.5 million, he's hurting for money.
You say that like that's the situation where we don't. I don't know where you're grabbing these numbers from.
I'm just saying,
by you're just throwing numbers out, I would agree with what you just said.
I'm just saying, you're saying he's paid, but we don't know if he's hurting though. That's all I'm saying.
No, I said I'm assuming he's paid, but again, I don't know. I wouldn't assume he was hurting, but again, you said you think he's making 10 and spending 9. I can't argue that. I have no idea.
I was just using that as an example of just because he's made a lot of money doesn't mean he hasn't spent a lot of money.
Water's wet, and I agree. Right. I don't know.
Let's make a little bit of a left turn here and go to comic book news.
You mean the industry that nobody cares about?
Spider-Man costume on the horizon, and it looks like shit. I'm saying it now. It's on the Bleeding Cool website. It is also in our Discord in the Back to Comics link. Spider-Man has a blue outfit with a white chest piece and helmet and white go-go boots. I'm sorry, is this 1969? They were on the Laugh-In show? This is terrible.
It's a comic.
Well, we all know it won't last.
Where is it again?
Go into the Back to Comics link. Or chat, or whatever the hell it is.
Oh, God. You know what I think of when I see this awful costume? It looks like a mix between the Future Foundation costumes and roller derby.
It does look like Future Foundation.
The only thing that looks weird to me is his eyes. I don't understand.
I can't see
the gold accoutrements don't work either.
Yeah, the eyes boots. Come on, so weird to me. I mean, end of the day, I could give up. But it looked like something from the video game, personally, to me. They got a whole bunch of wild costumes. This looks like something from that.
All right. He's debuting this in 63. I'm saying by 80,
Did they
it's
start
back
it
to
over?
normal.
They start over the numbering or something?
They always do.
That was dumb.
But they've got legacy numbers in there somewhere, though.
Oh, okay.
So they're going to start this with number 63. I'm saying it'll go to 80, and that's it.
Ain't nobody reading this shit anyway.
That's true. Just
Ain't nobody reading.
Now, Mark, I can see the full costume now. The headgear looks like Spider-Gwen to me.
who I am so tired of, and it does look like that. It does.
This is awful. Are they that bereft of ideas? They're doing this shit?
Yep.
Just to make a splash?
Yep.
Apparently.
Yep.
What are the ears? He got ears now or something in his pocket?
What ears?
That's right, he does. What is that?
I'm scroll down. He's got little balls coming out the side of his head.
Oh shit!
Pause.
Oh, this is ugly.
They need to leave Spider-Man. Spider-Man, golly. I guess this is what Mike. You said it. This is what happens when you have a character for 70 years.
Mm-hmm.
70.
You run out of ideas other than changing the costume, making it look stupid.
The only costume change that I liked was Scarlet Spider. I like that outfit. But the rest of this crap,
yeah, it's purely done to try and spark those who do buy this to buy it strictly because this is the issue where he got that costume. It's not going to appeal to non-comic book buyers could give a damn. Ain't gonna buy it no way. So they got to do whatever they can, man. It's a dying, hurting industry, so they got to do whatever they can do, man.
And starting everything off at number one repeatedly. Doesn't that don't the collectors get pissed at that?
I do.
Devalue the collector aspect?
It doesn't devalue the back issue market. It's just pointless pandering to a market that doesn't exist. Because both comic book companies have been chasing the, quote, elusive new reader from day one. They ain't coming. I
don't even think they're chasing a new reader at this point. They know that there's ain't no new readers coming.
They ain't coming.
They're chasing the existing marketplace.
They need to deal with their existing marketplace, exactly. All this shit about making, retrofitting characters for different personalities is stupid. This Spider-Man outfit, come on, man.
I mean, if you think about it though, what else could they do that's going to get the people who buy books to buy this? It's making a better story. I mean, that's that's a subjective thing. So what else could they do? It's a dwindling market. They got to know that how can we appeal to the guy coming in the shop that's going to buy a book? We got to do something drastic, whether it's make it a number one or give them a new costume or something. But there really isn't too much else they can do. The non-comic book person ain't walking in the shop, so they know there's no sense even trying to appeal to them. To me, it's just these are just last-ditch efforts to get comic book buyers to maybe pick this up at least for a couple issues, and then it might be a decent seller in the trade because it'll be the trade where you had the different costume or something. But it's unfortunate, it's just all about they're trying to tell the same story. If this was a novel and they were just pushing the same novel for 30 years, right, they'd be trying to appeal to book buyers who go into Barnes and Nobles, and it's not even about the story. It's like, what can we do to make them pick this book up to buy it? Because there's no one else that doesn't buy books ain't going to appeal to, but we stuck on this story. We got to keep this story going to make money. So it's not even about the story. It's just purely what can sell this book, and they're doing outlandish shit like this. This is the only thing they have left, which is unfortunate, but that's what it is. Like nobody knew it was ever going to come. If those movies weren't enough to get people to come, these books ain't. So, forget that. I think that's what you see with DC. They're like, fuck it, cancel half of this shit because it ain't going to sell no way. So what's the point? Like, it ain't even worth it.
Now I'm curious. What let me take a quick look and see what Spider-Man sales numbers are currently anyway. Because the days of the McFarlane and Image and $1 million copies, that ain't happening.
Not in American comic books, no.
No.
Nah, you talking about manga or something.
Damn.
They killing it. They killing the game. I'm not surprised Marvel and DC ain't switched to mangas. That's where the money's at. Fuck it. But with that said, we're going to get ready. Well, you'll find that information and we'll get out of here after that. I want to look up this one thing here.
Okay.
Deep.
I'm only seeing a ranking. I'm not seeing numbers. Damn it.
Oops.
Your CBR ain't giving that up. Diamond Distributors.
Here, I'll tell you why they ain't even close. There's a manga called Demon Slayer. And in 2020 alone, guess how many units they sold?
Domestically or worldwide?
Say it again.
Domestically or worldwide?
Worldwide.
Oh, shit. I don't know. A couple of million?
82 million.
God damn!
Okay,
and that's just this year.
Now, you said if they do manga now, so manga is just what, this huge, large book that tells a one complete story? Or
I think of it as a comic. It's a continuous story. Each maybe an issue weekly or bi-weekly or monthly. But 83 million sold.
Okay,
2020.
So I'm trying to understand, why is that selling like that? You said that's a monthly release comic. Why is it selling like that? But DC and Marvel's is barely able to get 120,000.
Well, I can only assume that the people who sell manga know their audience. and they make something that's compelling that people can't. And it's also, they just had a movie that came out, I think it's Japan. It is the highest selling movie of all time in Japan.
What's cover price on a standard manga?
That's a good question. Let's take a look.
Because aren't they pretty thick books?
Well, I think there's one that I know of, and I know some manga heads are going to jump. I think it's called Shoujun Jump. It's a magazine, and think of it as like anthologies. So it could have maybe 4 or 5 different manga stories going at that particular time. And so, each one may have 3 or 4 pages at that chapter, and then it come out every week. But then, so they do it that way. But then, so that's the one that carries all the different mangas in one book. But then in terms of Demon Slayer by itself, they will collect those chapters and sell it in what we would call maybe a trade. And so there'll be volume 1, volume 2.
So this is a trade then?
It doesn't necessarily say what that is. I'm assuming it's just the Demon Slayer stuff. So it could be, volume 1, volume 2, volume 3. At least in America, we know that I think the trades at least are like $10 and up. Mm-hmm. But obviously, like I said, that's a whole different level.
I'm on the Wikipedia. It has a monthly is a weekly Shonen Jump. So I guess it's a weekly circulation of 1.6 million. They said the magazine has sold over 7.5 billion copies since 1968.
See, instead of dicking around trying to, restart and, fuck it, gender bend all these existing characters, why don't you follow the fucking manga guys around, see what the fuck they're doing, and do that? Fuck.
They may have to, man. Like I said, they can't. That's why I say you go to Barnes and Nobles, and the manga section is thick. It's bigger than the comics, right?
If I was the cat who wrote that, and I see that sales are 82 million for a given month,
They caked out.
I'm good.
And it's a popular TV show as well.
Oh shit! I'm gonna sit on my huge bag, and y'all figure that out. Boom chicka boom boom boom.
Mm-hmm. My kids are all into manga. They're all into anime too. That's what they watch. They don't. Yeah, they like Marvel and all that, but they'll sit. Like my daughter, she just told me. I think is it Bleach or one of these shows? This show's got like 800 episodes of the show, or some crazy number like that. Is it Bleach?
I've seen it. I don't know what it's about, but I've seen.
She watched
it in the listings.
Whole thing, and then she watches the movies. I was like, "You watched the whole thing?" Oh, good Lord! I tried to watch it. I just can't get into it. But
it says 366 episodes.
366. That's still ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
My anime starts and stops with Speed Racer.
Hilarious. But all right, we're going to get up out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for listening. Before we go, Big Sexy, where can they find you online?
Same digital platforms, Facebook, Mark Wiggins, Instagram, Mark Wiggins 2, and Twitter, WSE Mark.
All right. And Pooh, where can they find you?
Twitter and Instagram, and then Pooh in Clubhouse, and starting Friday. Yes, anyone who has an iPhone that's listening to my voice, if you get an invitation for Clubhouse, join it. There's a lot of informative rooms you can join in, but of course, there's a lot of foolery and ratchetry that will keep you entertained for hours.
All right. And Q, are you still there?
I think I am, yeah.
Where can we find you online, sir?
Well, you can find me at getfirstlevel.com. You can find me on YouTube at First Levels, and then First Level /LWAG. And
LWAG. I've heard that one.
LWAG. And I'm making a big push. I'm working like a job, trying to get this new classroom filled out. So that's where I am.
Right on. Ladies and gentlemen, you can find us at Podcast Juice. Just check us out on any podcasting platform, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, also on YouTube. And with that, working like a job. We'll see you next time. Peace. All right.